seemed appropriate to do the Halloween intro today. So I realized what had happened there was I had accidentally toggled the animation off. That's why it didn't play. But I fixed it now, so my other seasonals will, play properly this time. Hooray! Anyway, we're going to be reading more Higurashi today. And as the title should say, Chapter 7's pretty spoiler-tastic so far. So, yeah. Things do be happening in Hinamazawa. And also, hi any future YouTube viewers, I appreciate that you like to watch this series. Let's begin. Continue. Right, end of chapter 3. So my goal for today is to go for maybe 3 or 4 hours. So, let's see how far we can get. It's probably another couple chapters or 3? Continue. Hello, I'm surprised to see you here on a day other than Sunday. I have something I want to ask Takano. Is she here today? No. She must be on a date with, Risa-san. I wish I had a date too. Why do you call him Risa? I don't understand. You should ask him yourself. So that must be Tomitake. It was a small mistake I made when we first met. It was funny how he reacted. I don't get it. Probably with how his name is read. That's what nicknames are all about, though. What do you want to talk to her about? I'll see her at the meeting tonight, so I'll take the message if you want. Thank you very much. But I'd rather talk to her directly. I see. All right. I should get back to my work now. My work. Now then. Are you not seeing any patients today? I've been busy with paperwork for the meeting tonight. I've been preparing it for a while, but I don't have enough time. I'll get in trouble if it's not finished in time. Aren't you busy coaching the baseball team too? You have so much energy. I'm such a busy guy. I've been looking for a cute maid who would take care of me, take care of the chores, and help me with other work, but I've had no such luck. You still haven't jumped in that lake. He laughed and looked at his watch. He seemed to be in a hurry. Do you have any idea where Takano is right now? We're probably going around different places in the village. I know that they always meet at the shrine. She left not too long ago, so she still might be there somewhere near there. I looked at the clock on the wall. I must have just missed her. There was no time to be chatting with Irie. Thank you very much. I'll try the shrine. You shouldn't bother those lovers since they only see each other 4 times a year. He smiled mischievously and waved his hand to goodbye. I headed back to the shrine. I was going to park my bike by the stairs that led to the shrine grounds. Stoke and I are the only people who park our bikes there normally, but more than 10 bikes were there today. People must be gathering at the convention room. There are more and more meetings when the Watanagashi festival draws closer. Seeing all these bikes reminded me that summer is nearly here. Most of the bikes were old and beat up. However, I saw 2 unfamiliar ones parked there. They were sporty mountain bikes with the same design but different colors. They must belong to Takano and Tomitake. I went up the stairs to look for the 2 of them, but I couldn't find either. Was there any place with a great view for taking pictures? I tried looking at places like that, but I still couldn't find them. So I started looking based on what Takano might be interested in. Could only think of one place. How is it, Jiro-san? It's a pretty simple lock. Oh no, they're doing this again. All I need is the right tool. I should be able to open it in a minute. You can do that? You opened the lock to my heart, but that's not the only thing you're good at, huh? Hee. I'm gonna curse you! Two of them jumped in surprise as I suddenly appeared in front of them. Hello, Rika-chan. It wasn't nice of you to scare us like that. It's not nice to try and open the ritual storehouse lock either. I heard the whole thing. She's right, Takano-san. We can't do something like that, even though we were just talking about it. Tomitaka conceded right away, but Takano was stubborn. She made up excuses to try to fool me. Based on my previous lives, I knew how much interest she had in this storehouse. It was actually rather impressive how hard she tried to cover that up. The ritual storehouse is full of the remainder of the dark history of Onagafuchi. It contains bloody and vicious tools that Takano is fascinated with. She should have a good idea of what those things are inside of the storehouse based on what she has been researching. She was making up some story about cultural treasures and such, but it was obvious she was just making excuses. Tomitaka also seemed impressed listening to Takano's funny justifications. In the past, I've tried to conceal what was inside the storehouse from Takano because I didn't want her spreading information about the holy and brutal traditions they used to have in Onagafuchi village. It would be a disgrace. As a member of the Furude family, I can't let that happen. Looking at the history of Onagafuchi in the way Takano does is a painful thing for Hanyu as well. For Hanyu, the ritual storehouse is a special place. I don't know what's so nice about being surrounded by those scary ritual tools, but she feels cozy when she's surrounded by the smell of old times. Storage is like Hanyu's hideout. When I can't see her, she's usually relaxing in here. I don't want Hanyu's happy place to be turned into a bloody, horrifying den of evil Takano believes it to be. That's why I've been keeping Takano away from the ritual storehouse. Come to think of it, why am I so mean to her? Is it because I hate her? I should stop feeling that way. Oh, honey! We've got a bit. That's all you get is a little... I have to keep in close contact with Takano and Tomitake. I won't give up just because it didn't work before. I'm going to try one more time. This world is different from the other ones. I might be able to change their fate, which in turn might change my own. Hanyu, I'm thinking about showing the ritual storehouse to Takano. Oh. Hanyu made an irritated face. Takano will lose herself in ecstasy if she sees what's inside there. She'll run around spreading rumors of the bloody history of Onagafuchi. Hanyu wasn't too excited about that prospect. I'm not trying to curry favor with Takano, but I think it might give me a chance to talk to her. Takano holds onto grudges, so if I'm mean to her now, she might not listen to me later. Oh. I understand that Hanyu doesn't want her inside this holy place, but she can't do anything more than be irritated about it. I'm the only one who could make the ultimate decision. Besides, she'll forgive me if I promise to eat something sweet later. Takano, if you want to keep a secret, I'll let you in. Really? Inside the ritual storehouse? You don't mean inside the emergency shelter, right? I mean it. I'll let you into the ritual storehouse. You mean this storehouse? Inside this building? I'm not trying to trick you or anything. I'll let you inside. Nipa! I have never seen such a big smile on her face before. Now this is a miracle. I'm seeing this face for the first time in 100 years. Tomitake must be feeling the same way. His image of Takano is slowly falling apart as we spoke, I'm sure. She's so happy. No, maybe he just found a new side of her to love instead. Let's go with that. I'm surprised that Takano is actually such a funny person. Communication is important. It's something so hard to tell what people are all about. It's sometimes so hard to tell what people are all about. We remained there and watched Takano spinning in delight for a while. This is a secret, so no one can see us going inside. You're right. I'll try and calm down. I'll go get the keys now. By the time I came back with the key, Takano was totally calm again. She was obviously trying to hide how gleeful she was, though. I thought she was a mature lady, but she might still be a kid at heart. I think they call it something like Kapamue. Hi, Nero, I see that. Will do. Hi, Nero. Good to see you. Ad break's probably going to start really soon, so we'll do the bop over in a minute. I am doing pretty good, and I hope you are too. There it is. I'll get on that help check. As I like to call it, the keen interest in streamer... What was it? I can't remember what the other S was. But it rhymed at one point. Well, not rhymed, but it had a point at one point. But I've kept it like that for years, and it's not going anywhere. Such peaceful little music we have before things, you know. You know. Alright, now that the ad break is over, I hope you're doing alright, Nero. And let us continue. Ah yes, Yapamue. I picked that term up at some point from Keiichi, but I'm still not sure how it's used. You know what? Fair, valid. Well then, Takano and Tomitake, before we go inside, you must promise me something. Otherwise, you can't go in. Of course. You're willing to break the rules to open the forbidden storage for us. We'll keep our promise. Hee. Takano-san, you have to take this seriously. I'm taking it seriously. Hee. My image of Takano is falling to pieces right now. Same here. Her market is crashing all over the world. Brenda said it before. It's not a good idea to think about problems all on one's own. I always hated the crazy part of Takano. I didn't want to be close to her. But I never thought she could act this way. She's acting almost like Randa does in her cute mode. Had I known she was a funny person as this, I wouldn't have felt resentment towards her. I realize how important communication can be. Are we sensing the theme yet? First of all, you have to promise you won't tell anybody that you went inside the storehouse. Do not tell anyone. Of course I won't tell, I promise. Takano put her hands to her chest. She also forced Tomitake to do the same. It was funny to watch Tomitake trying to keep up with Takano, too. Also, you can't damage anything inside the storehouse. Of course not. Is it okay if I take pictures? Beep. You can, but I'll charge 100 yen per picture. What? How much money do you have on you right now, Jiro-san? If you pay me 10,000 yen, you can take all the photos you want. That's a good deal! I'll take it, Jiro-san! They paid me the money for real. Hanyu seemed excited knowing that the money could be used for buying desserts. Oh, well. Star. Kano is such a nice person. You're so greedy. I finally got approval from Oyashiro-sama, the master of the storehouse. We'd have no more problems now. The ritual storehouse is behind the building of the convention room. Sometimes people come out here for a cigarette break. Can't let anybody see us entering. You're good. No one's around. Tomitake checked out the scene and gave me a signal to go ahead. I nodded at him and unlocked the door. I pushed open the heavy door just far enough for us to sneak inside. It'll look suspicious if you wait outside like that. What? I can come inside too? He seemed surprised that I was asking him to come inside with us. Tomitake, of course, wasn't particularly interested in what was inside the storehouse. I expected a surprised reaction. Jiro-san, Rika-chan is telling you to come inside. Come on now. All right. Tomitake squeezed inside as Takano urged him. I turned the lights on and closed the door. Then I put the chain on from inside. You're locking us in? Just so that a bad kitty cat won't sneak inside, you know? You're a good kitty cat, Hazel. Hehehe, are you talking about me? Takano is a cat, I suppose. Takano, a cat is supposed to go meow meow. Meow. What do you mean? If you don't act like a cat, I'm not gonna let you see what's inside here. I brought cat ears and a collar and with a bell for you too, Rika! If you don't put them on, get on all fours and meow, then I won't open the next door. The Shrine Storehouse has 2 doors so that people can't see what's inside once the first door is opened. At the moment, we were inside the entry chamber. The real storehouse is in the room beyond. What? It's a bad joke, Rika. I'm serious. You wouldn't really. Huh? What the hell? I'll do it if I have to! You're testing me to see how devoted I am to my research, aren't you, Rika-chan? Fine, then. If that's what you want, then I'll wear the cat ears, bloomer's tail, crawl on all fours before an empty bowl of milk, and beg, please let me drink your milk, master. Oh, boy. She definitely would have joined our club if she was around our age. I agree. Hey, remember how shredded stocks smelled like on Wall Street during the Great Crash? Takano's value right now reminds me of that. Her dignity is gone. Bring it on, Rika-chan. Are you sure I only have to wear the ears and the collar? Takano-san? This door isn't even locked! See, push it and it opens! Really? Oh dear, how shameful of me! I think that deserves the eyebrows. Which I'm very happy to report that my lovely eyebrow emote is now the most popular emote used on my channel. Yes. I adore it. Tomitake had no sense of humor. You just turned off a lot of viewers who were looking forward to seeing Takano in a cat outfit. Anyway, he's right. You just have to push it. Once we went through the door, we found ourselves inside the storage area. There were no windows in there, so it was completely dark, even during the day. There were several light bulbs hanging from the ceiling, but they were dim, and their light only exaggerated the darkness inside. A Yashiro-sama statue and altar dominated the center of the room. They were surrounded by tons of ancient torture implements. They were all over the floor, walls, and ceiling. It looked like a torture room rather than just a storage for tools intended for one. This is amazing! Tomitake was rendered speechless. They were nothing like those fake torture implements that they might have seen in the Wax Museum or someplace like that. The tools in this room are the genuine article. I never like to think about it, but I'm sure some of them really were used. These authentic tools always have a big impact on the people who see them. But Tomitake was the only one who was shocked, since he was the only normal person in the room. Local man didn't fully sign up for this. Wait, you're not even local, you're from Tokyo. Not local man. Takano's eyes were sparkling. She was taking pictures while meowing like a cat. This place isn't special to me. Of course I know I'm supposed to treat it as a holy place, but I'm so used to seeing all these things after coming here countless times since I was little. To me, it's nothing but a storehouse with a lot of old stuff inside. As for Hanyu, she says it's the only place the air from times past lingers in the present day, so she actually finds it comforting. I get in a good mood when I come here, because Hanyu gets in a good mood. This is a relaxing place for her. As I watched Tomitake's reaction, I noticed how totally off my values are from normal people's. Takano's reaction seems more natural to me in a sense. Hanyu seemed to be bothered by Tomitake's reaction too. Maybe it was a bad idea to let him come inside after all. Not like I could kick him out at this point. Hanyu and I sat on a cushion in front of the altar and watched Takano dance with childish glee while Tomitake made touching efforts to keep up. I wonder why they made so many torture implements. The whole purpose of torture is to make people confess something, right? Why was it necessary for them to have so many? Jiro-san, do you know that there are 2 ways to threaten people with torture implements? There's the physical way and the psychological way. The first one is to inflict pain on the victim. The other way is to threaten the victim just by showing him the tools. In that sense, having a countless number of them could give tremendous fear to the victim. I've heard that torture requires skill. I suppose it's hard to really hurt people without killing them. Tomitake acted like he was having a conversation with Takano, but his voice was obviously unsteady. Unlocal man is discomforted by this entire situation. More at 11. Some Western torture implements are so vicious that they really used it on the victim, they would have killed him instantly. To be precise, there are 2 types of torture implements. First, there are the simple tools that are simply used to make the victim confess, and the other type is for entertaining those who are watching the torture. I'm frustrated that some people can't tell the difference between those 2. Who could she possibly mean? Hee hee? Let me ask you, what are you trying to gain from the victims by using these tools? Tomitake asked me. He must have thought that Takano would say something far more scary if he asked her. He's forgetting that I'm just a little innocent girl. I think they were for forcing their victims to obey the rules of Onigafuji Village. That's what I believe. Am I right? Yes, you are. Most of these tools were never built to actually be used. They were simply displayed in front of the villagers to intimidate them. That's why there are records saying that when they were actually tried to use them, some of them were in the wrong size or simply malfunctioned. So they really did use some of them then. That's not a pleasant story. Some people were just not obedient despite the threat of Yashiro-sama's curse. Hey, Rika-chan, are you sure that these tools were mainly used for intimidation for people of the village? I've heard that these were used for cooking and dissecting during the real Nagashi. Anya was making a frustrated face. She didn't want to remember the dark history of Onagafuchi village. People performed countless torture ceremonies in front of her, claiming that they were doing it in her name, the name of Oyashiro-sama. She asked them not to do that, but no one was able to hear her or see her. No comment, Nipa. She always talks to me about it, too. Long ago in the village of Onagafuchi would receive a divine message, go down to the foot of the mountain, kidnap people and eat them, right? I wonder why they did that. Was it a display of force or something? I believe it was a type of ceremony to make them all realize they were higher on the food chain. The greatest outspoken reason Onagafuchi forbade intermingling with outsiders was that the village was a holy land, and they were transcendents, greater beings than humans. Mingling with tainted humans would bring corruption. That's what they were taught. So they probably needed to reaffirm their idea that they were above humans at regular intervals. In Japan, there was a tradition of displaying severed heads on pikes. They did that in Europe, too. While such a warning is inhumane, it's an extremely good deterrent. I mean, can't disagree there. Victim was brutally tortured in public, and then they were eaten alive. Oh boy, the worst game of tag. What would you think if you saw something like that? Anyone would simply think that they wouldn't want to be in the same situation. There's also a history of crucifixion in this country. Interesting. They hung the victims and stabbed them with spears in front of an audience. Uh-huh. You know, people don't really die from being stabbed once or twice. They might have a chance to die if they were stabbed in the stomach or the chest, but it's not instant like a guillotine. They bleed from their wounds. Oof, okay. This might get a little bit squishy. Their guts being pulled out, they eventually died from drowning in their own blood. In a sense, the guillotine was such a merciful tool. If we ignore the spectacle of it, but anyway. Did you know? The guillotine was invented for the nobility. It was invented because they were able to die instantly, which wasn't the case with shooting or hanging. The nobles got special treatment all the way up to death. There's an old black and white movie that I know of. It's a love story set during the French Revolution, and the final guillotine scene is the best part. Okay, are you talking about like the probably 30s or 40s version of, like, say, A Tale of Two Cities? The nobles are all lined up and bound in chains, and they're going to be publicly executed on the guillotine one by one. Snap. Next. Snap. Next. Snap. Human lives are taken away like they're on a conveyor belt. There are no last words or prayers or anything. Snap. Next. Snap. It's not even entertaining because it's over in a flash. No one holds any sentiment for their deaths. The audience enjoys how the nobles' heads are sliced off like vegetables. It's like a show to them. I think it's more respectful to kill someone slowly and brutally. That way people will pay a little bit more attention to them, right? Hey, Tomitake. Tomitake, are you getting any red flags? Yashiro-sama here was the one who made this brutal torture possible. Takano raised her hand in honor of the statue of Yashiro-sama. Yashiro-sama is just an idol created by human beings. That idol was worshipped with fear and made divine. Yes, people laid the bricks of his church with rules and doctrine, strengthening it with the mortar of curses and malediction. As they stacked and stacked those bricks up high, the height reached all the way up to the heavens, and their God was placed above it all. Gods are born because people desire them. So when people seek to rule others with fear, they become the collection of blood, torture, and pure terror. Oh, well. And here, they call this god Oyashiro-sama. In other words, this proves that the stairs to godhood are built not by gods but by human hands, and shows the way for us humans to attain further heights. And please calm down, ma'am. You're in an Arby's. Her passionate lecture was interrupted by a loud noise. As I looked back, Hanyu was jumping up and down with her eyes full of tears. Thud, thud, thud. She was stomping on the floor as hard as she could, making a loud noise instead of screaming out with her unheard voice. However, it amounted to the same thing. Hanyu cannot be heard by people. That's not right! That's not right! I'm not like that! Hanyu? I hate seeing people getting tortured or killed. I want people to be happy together. Of course not everything is perfect, but I never asked people to do such horrible things. Hanyu, you are who you are. Well, Yashiro-sama has nothing to do with you. That's not right. It's not right. Oh. I hate Takano. I hate her. She's always says such horrible things about me. She's a bully. It was a bad idea for me to bring Takano in here. I know that Takano would get overstimulated and say something like this. Fortunately, Hanyu's rejection indirectly reached Takano, and she stopped lecturing. Somehow, Tomitake had heard that noise that Hanyu made. He pressed his finger to the front of his lips and told Takano to be quiet. What is it? Well, I just heard a sound like a child jumping around. There might be a child somewhere near this building. Really? I didn't hear anything. Oh. I'm sure I heard it. Has he been drugged already? Takano-san, we're here in secret. I think you should look around without making any noise. Takano seemed disappointed, but Tomitake was right. She had no choice but to be quiet. Tomitake, there are no children around this place. Are you sure? You didn't hear it either? I'm sure I heard a noise. I heard it too, but it wasn't coming from outside the building. It was jumping right behind me. I guess you heard it from far away. But it was very loud to me. I was standing in front of the altar, and the statue of Oyashiro-sama was right behind me. Tomitake seemed freaked out after hearing what I just told him. Although he was trying to fake a smile, his face was turning pale. However, Takano didn't seem scared at all. She's probably like, break it! Takano, you can't say things that would upset Oyashiro-sama in front of him. Oyashiro-sama is very angry now. Can't you hear his voice? It's fortunate that she can't, to be honest. Even if she heard it, it would be nothing but tears. Oh, Hanyu! My job as a shrine maiden is to begin with is to tell humans what Oyashiro-sama is feeling. I'm responsible for speaking on Hanyu's behalf. Takano must have realized that I was very serious about what I just said. She apologized to me right away. I'm sorry. I took it too far. I'm sorry, Oyashiro-sama. You are a god as long as people worship you. Even though I may not worship you, you are still holy. I'm sorry for disrespecting you. Take back what you said about the violence. Oyashiro-sama loves sweet food. You'll get cursed unless you offer something sweet through me. Tomotaga couldn't help but smile. Takano also smiled. She bowed to me, promising to bring over some cream puffs soon. Takano finally stopped saying bad things about Oyashiro-sama. She also promised to bring me something sweet. Anya was still upset, but she would probably be satisfied for the moment. But I still don't know what she meant by the 3 fingers she was showing to me. She was telling me to ask Takano for that too? Being a shrine maid is not an easy thing. Oyashiro-sama is saying that she wants at least 3 cream puffs. I just want to make it clear that that's not me asking for that. They took it as a joke I made to reduce the tension. Tomotaga and Takano cracked up, holding their stomachs. Anya was looking at them with surprise, not knowing why they were laughing. My face, meanwhile, was turning red with embarrassment. Fine. I'll get 3 delicious cream puffs for Oyashiro-sama. Should I get some for you and Satoka-chan, too? No, I don't need any. But there's something that I want to tell you. What is it? Since you let me inside the Star House today, I'm willing to do anything for you now. Then I want you to believe what I'm about to tell you now. Please don't ask me why or make fun of me. Please believe me and change the fate to save me. Both of them are surprised to see such a serious look on my face. I was sure they'd be surprised. After all, I was about to explain to them that they were going to die in 2 days. I'm sure they'd want to deny that. But I knew a fair bit about their deaths. I could explain it to them in detail, and they wouldn't be able to laugh through it. I talked to them about it several times in previous lives, but they never took it seriously. I only had the slight possibility that they might believe me. Hopefully the possibility is as small as a miracle. It should be engraved on the side of a die. My friends overcame their fates, and they all rolled a 6. Should I call that a miracle? Please, God, let me roll a 6 again. Please let them believe that, that death is upon them. Irie turned on the lights as soon as he finished his presentation. There were about 8 men wearing lab coats inside the meeting room. The man sitting at the far end was the only person without one. Upon seeing Irie finish his speech, he clapped his hands several times. Having noticed his applause, the other men in the room soon followed suit. Excellent! Oh my goodness! Oh, hi! Very, very excellent. I'm quite satisfied with your progress. Your hard work has paid off, Dr. Irie. So, not just a normal cameraman. No, I would say it's because of my incredible staff. Really, I do owe them my gratitude. We're really getting close to finding the perfect cure. There are a few more sticking points, but they can be resolved with time and financing. We're counting on your support on that front. With sufficient funding and labor, I estimate we'll be done within 3 years. By 1986, we should be able to establish a complete treatment for it. From here on out, our challenges will be establishing a treatment package that other unspecialized medical facilities can easily administer, developing an easier, cheaper test for it. With regards to the testing, Dr. Irie is currently researching a way to detect potential patients through blood samples. Once the process is established, the test can be administered alongside regular physical exams, and we believe that will drive costs down significantly. That's wonderful to hear. The current tests are pretty involved and expensive, after all. Sorry, I'm truly grateful to hear you're considering the cost, too. Healthy citizens are supported by our nation's assets. Are supposed to be our nation's assets, so it's really is a shame to bring up the budget, but from our position, we'd like to shave every yen we can off the cost. Of course, we understand. We'll establish a treatment that is impossible due to the cost. It'd be just a pie in the sky. If we establish a treatment, It's our job to develop a practical treatment, not just a theoretical one. Tomitake started clapping again, and everyone followed him. So yeah, that's Tomitake in his other day job. You're truly a respectable man, as well as a talented doctor. I'm honored to have met you. No, I can't sincerely accept your applause until every person has been treated with the so-called curse of Oyashiro-sama has been exterminated. Alright. We hope for your continued cooperation until that time. Likewise. I'll do everything I can to make sure you receive almost every yen in the budget you've outlined. Please keep up the good work. Tomitake and Irie shook hands. The meeting room was filled with applause yet again. That's it for tonight's meeting. The ad break should be starting soon. Tomorrow's the main event, and we're all waiting for the budget hearing. Let's all push hard. Takano was being sarcastic, of course. Staff members in the lab coats were smiling bitterly. Ha 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 ha. Boop. It's seriously a delight to play through this. Oh, the cat is within reach. I must pet the kitty kitty. Hello, kitty kitty. I love you. Alright, let's get back to it. I will give my greatest efforts to the budget you all need to. To be honest, I want to be on your side myself. But I'm the one who has to explain things to the brass, and the only one they come down on directly. You have my deepest apologies, but regretfully, I'll be rigorously examining the budget. Please continue lending me your cooperation. That's your job, so we can't blame you. We'll see you tomorrow. And in any case, that's it for today. Once Irie declared the meeting over, his white-coated staff gathered up their documents and left after glancing at the clock. It was almost midnight. Staff who were off tomorrow might be alright, but those scheduled to work needed to sleep soon, or it would hinder them the next day. Takano gathered up the butts from the ashtrays as well as the empty coffee cans. My, some people didn't drink their coffee. We managed to get a coffee budget for meetings approved. But I wonder if they'll cut that budget if people don't drink it. Hee hee hee. Don't be so mean. I'm not doing this because I enjoy it, you know? Oh, Takano-san. I'll take that leftover coffee. I'll take one too. That way the budget won't go to waste. The Two of them seemed more relaxed with the other staff members gone. Tomitaka and Irie loosened their collars in signs of relief. How are Rika and Satoko-chan? Are they doing fine? I heard last week that Satoko-chan's test results weren't that good recently. No, but it actually wasn't that big of a deal. She was a bit out of sorts because of the heat wave. Her new results came out very stable. Dr. Ear is very passionate about Satoko-chan. That's not true. As a physician, I treat all of my patients equally, to the best of my ability. But if she feels grateful and decides to become my maid, that would be wonderful. Go jump in a lake. Though that's proving quite difficult. It would be wonderful if there was a way to completely cure Satoko-chan. But I guess that's what's difficult. Once a patient reaches level 5, the level 5 state, like Satoko-chan has, it's easy for them to re-experience hallucinations similar to a patient suffering from flashbacks. Those technically aren't caused by the disease, but the normal defense mechanisms cultivated in the brain. Like the idiom, "A scalded dog fears cold water," suggests the brain naturally uses past experiences protectively for our survival. In simpler terms, emotional trauma! Emotional damage! Worse yet, we suspect she may have suffered damage directly to her frontal lobe, so she needs more delicate counseling and long-term medication than the usual trauma patient. You may be able to treat her illness, but you can't treat her mental health? Is that what you're saying? Probably not with the resources and budget that you have, because this is a small community in the 80s in Japan. There are plenty of people functioning in society with emotional trauma. Even if she's just one more into the mix, it's still a miraculous recovery, considering the state she used to be in. So, yeah. Satoko, age unknown, is a mentally ill, traumatized child with a rare disease. And there's a reason why it's like, and she knows none of this. She knows nothing about what's going on with her. Think about diabetic patients. There's no cure, but many of them live happily by managing their condition. She still needs 3 shots a day? No, she's recovered quite a bit, so she's down to twice a day now. I think that puts a lot less strain on her, too. She was so afraid in the beginning, but Rika-chan talked her into it. Into getting the shots, you mean? Satoko-chan was told she's been receiving financial support from us by supporting our research. So she thinks that she's getting 2 shots a day, not because she's sick, but as a test subject for your research? Jiro-san. It would be a horrible thing for us to explain to her what kind of illness she's suffering from. Didn't I tell you this before? Ah, well, I remember. Sorry for being insensitive. If you happen to see Satoko-chan somewhere, please be kind to her. All right. I will. By the way, Rika-chan is such a strong girl. Her background is similar to Satoko-chan's, yet she's leading such a steady life. And see, here is the issue between, oh yeah, Rika and Satoko have the exact same experiences. Rika's an old soul. She has so much more experience than Satoko right now. We have Rika-chan and her deceased parents to thank for all of this. Without their understanding and support, we would have never discovered even a hint of that cure so soon. She even endured the inhumane experiments very well. Oof! We wouldn't have the results we do today without her support after overcoming her parents' death. Zuh. I'd like to repay the debt we owe her somehow. I agree. Tokyo also recognizes that Rika-chan and Satoko-chan have rendered us a distinguished service. They will be compensated for their work someday, if the government remembers. Hey, you guys don't even want to pay for our coffee filters. Hee hee. Again, don't be mean. You keep bringing that story up. Ha 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 ha. But even though all we can do is compensate them with money, I wish there was a way to pay them back with our hearts. Takano muttered like she was talking to herself, but it almost sounded like she was talking to them. I'm sure there are many ways for us to show our appreciation. There are many ways we can pay them back. Dr. Irie, Coach, I guess you've already been doing that for some time. For them all the time. I suppose I should note it, be nice to those girls too. Indeed, plus Rika-chan was very nice to you today. I nearly forgot. I had to take that film and get it developed first thing in the morning. It was such a wonderful experience. History, culture, the smell of it, everything about it was wonderful. Irie wondered what she could have experienced during the day. Toмотaka could only smile and act like he didn't know anything. By the way, Takano-san, what do you think of what Rika-chan told us near the end of the day? What are your thoughts? I want to believe that that's only paranoia. She did say that there was absolutely no proof either. What's going on? From what you've said, it sounds like Rika-chan is showing some bad symptoms. Her test results from last week. I thought they came out pretty good. But did you see anything different, Dr. Irie? No. They were stable as always. Sadako-chan's results are a wave during high tide. Rika's are the quiet surface of a lake. Just like their personalities. What's the possibility of a sudden outbreak? What are you talking about? Don't tell me Rika-chan is showing symptoms of the disease progressing. Rika-chan asked us for something today. She wanted our protection because she feels like someone is going to murder her. No way. Who would try to kill her? That's impossible. Rika-chan's a beloved mascot here at the village. I don't think she has any enemies. I think it was just her imagination, too. Why does she think that someone is trying to kill her? If she's experiencing paranoia, she might be in the early level 5 stage. She says she saw it in her dreams. She wants us to reinforce security around her because she feels threatened. For a young girl like that, it's not uncommon to get scared by having a nightmare. But we need to determine if it's really just a dream or if she's showing early symptoms of the disease. Okay. Let's give her an urgent checkup tomorrow. I really hope nothing is wrong. She's the most valuable person in this village. I hope she's okay. But what should we do if she is? Jiro-san, if that's what she wants in return for what she showed us today, it's not even a big deal. She's worried about her own safety and wants to rely on us. I think we should support her. That's what paying her back with our hearts is all about. You're right. Even if she was just dreaming, we'll lose her trust if we don't support her. This is our chance. We found a way to show her our appreciation. Yeah, I agree. Besides, she has the right to seek that support from us. Yes, we have to make sure to protect her at all times. That's true. Though, that's your job, not mine. So please, give her your best. Understood. Takano-san, please do what you can to keep her safe. It's probably not so serious that we need to bring up the bloodhounds from Tokyo. Hee, true. You can't ask them to come over just because Rika Furude had a nightmare. Alright. I'll order at least 4 members of the Mountain Dogs to watch her 24 hours a day. That's impressive. That's tighter security than when I went to Tokyo. Hehehe. She deserves special treatment. I'll make sure she gets the best security in the country. No, no one would dare plot an assassination on her. Mm. I'll get the best bodyguards out there. Not even a super spy could lay a finger on her. Meow meow. Onigafuchi banzai! Kana-san, did something good happen? Well, I mean... After looking through the items that had been donated for the auction, we realized there was nothing kids would be interested in. Keiichi insisted that the show wouldn't be a success unless there was something that the kids would beg their parents to buy. He has a point. He's probably right. For that reason, we went to the toy store again today. We were trying to get the owner to donate something that would interest all the kids attending the festival. I see. I did get to sell off my old stock. I mean, different games the other day because of you guys. I want to support you if I can. My grandma wants the auction to be something that both kids and adults can enjoy. That's what she's hoping for. You understand? Can you help us, Uncle Yashiro? Or Yoshiro? Well, if that's what your grandmother wants, okay, I'll do my best. I don't know what she would say to me on New Year's if I refused. Ha 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 ha. Wow, I guess Mion's grandma is pretty scary. We have never met her, but I've heard how terrifying she can be. According to Shion-san, she enjoys ripping people's nails off. Arc 5, anyone? That's just Shi-chan trying to scare you. I know Michan's grandma very well. She's a very nice lady. As long as you're polite to her. I'm impressed that she can refer to that monster as a nice lady. She's scary when you're not polite. Also, she's scary when you don't show proper respect. Ipa! So are you saying that she wouldn't be nice to me? Kei-chan, we have a deal. He said he can take some stuff. Ha 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 ha. His laugh was a painful one. How come the people in the village always listen to Mion? It's the power of the Sonosaki family. Mion's like their princess. No one would dare contradict her. It's a good thing Mion is actually honest. You're also the princess of the Furude family, aren't you? Hehe, thank you. The members of the Sonosaki family branch families who own businesses usually get their funding through Mion's family. They can never go against the will of the main branch. The Sonosaki family made a fortune off the black market after the war, and they've invested those funds as capital into businesses run by their family and the villagers. They charge almost no interest and require no cosigners or collateral. Ooh. So as long as one gives proper explanation, they'll be provided a notable sum. The money has to be paid back, of course, but it's lent between family and community. They're willing to make some adjustments if one goes begging. For that reason, everyone is borrowing money from the family. And that, more than anything, is why they can never refuse a request from Mion. Alright, try and find something that might be interesting to kids. I need something big in size. It's not that exciting to sell a deck of cards at an auction, you know? Big things will attract more attention. So we need to look for something big and expensive. Oh, leave it to me! I'm very good at finding things like that. Let's try and be considerate of the owner too, everyone. Wow, look, Rena! The stuffed animal is so cute! What? Oh! It's adorable! I'm taking all of them home with me! You know, you guys, please don't take too much. Okay? Shop owner smiled bitterly at us. What do you think? What do you think of this, Keiichi-kun? Blech. It says, swing on it. It's like a playground kind of swing. Wow, it's so heavy. It must be a build-it-yourself swing. You can build it on the inside of your house or the outside of the yard. It's not as big as the swings you see on the playgrounds, but it's big enough for little kids to play in. It's fun in the beginning, but they'll eventually get bored with it, and it'll be used to hang laundry instead. That sounds like it's coming from experience. Did you have one of these, Keiichi? In my last house. I got it for Christmas when I was little. It looks really impressive, doesn't it? That's a good choice, Rena. Here, Kei-chan, stick this paper on it. People from the council will pick it up later. Mion handed Keiichi a piece of paper that said Town Council on it. She was carrying around a whole stack of them. She's really thorough when it comes to things like that. Keiichi-san, how about this one? It's a small pool you can put in your yard. Oh, that's a good choice, too. What do you think, Mion? Well, in Hinamizawa, you can always go to the river if you want to play in the water. I don't know about that one. But it has a goldfish pattern. It's adorable. I think this pool is a good one, I think. I think so as well. Doesn't it look perfect for setting up all kinds of traps? No way, no way. I'm the one who's going to end up trapped in there. We're not taking this one. How about this one? It's an elephant slide. I think this one is nice too. I want to take it home with me. If I pushed the Toko off the top, she would roll down like a ball. Wouldn't that be so much fun? Don't you think so, Hanyu? Oh, stop being mean to Satoko! Oh, that one's nice too. I'm taking it home with me. Alright, let me stick a paper on it. Hehehe. We enjoyed the privilege of picking donations for a while. I started to feel bad seeing the owner's troubled expression. I patted him on the head to try to comfort him. Rub, rub, pat, pat, Eepa! Wow, this is long. What is it, Kei-chan? Keiichi found something in the tabletop game section. I walked towards him to see what it was. There I saw a green mat on the table with the Mahang tiles all lined up on it. They were arranged in square shape as if someone was playing there until just a few minutes ago. Oishi, are you here? Huh? What's this, Uncle Yoshiro? Were you playing Mahang at work? No, that's not it. I had expected to see board games and card games in the toy store, but not Mahang. I guess it isn't weird for a toy store to sell this, though. Wow, it's been a long time. I think I've forgotten most of the rules. Wow, it's incredible for a girl like you to know Mahang. Oh, let me guess. You guys play at the club, right? It must have been at the end of last year. Of course, I was very good at it, too. There were lots of traps lying in my discard pile. Mion, listen here. You can't have 4 young girls together. And you have 4 young girls together, and you played Mahang at school? Hey, Kei-chan, you can't underestimate this game. Hinamizawa gets a lot of snow in the winter. The whole village enjoys Mahang in those months. We hole up inside a warm room and enjoy some tangerines and Mahang. We turn on the end of the year music program on TV. That's what winter is like here. That's probably how the Sonozaki family spends its winter. That doesn't mean the whole village does that. I forgot that Hinamazawa gets a lot of snow in the winter. I see, I guess Mahjong would be the standard game for adults to play around the kotatsu. Kei-chan, Mahjong is a very serious game. It's a necessity in every man's social life. When we sit around the square jungle, we become the Seiryu in the east, Byakko in the west, Suzaku in the south, and Genbu in the north. Oh no, I'm getting Fushigi flashbacks. Abandoning their hierarchy and squabbles, they're on equal fighting terms. It's in the same spirit as the ancient Olympic Games. See? Isn't that amazing? I'm less concerned with that and more afraid of what kind of punishment you'll set if you bring it at our club again. Do you know how to play Kichi-kun? My dad loves it. He always forces me to play when he doesn't have enough people to play with. I don't know if I'm good, but I know the rules. I know how to calculate... I don't know how to calculate anything, though. Why is there a Mahjong table here? Everyone looked to the owner. Well, I was talking with a customer this afternoon. He said he could show me how to do, Tsubame Gaeshi. What? Did you say? Tsubame Gaeshi? The greatest scam in the history of Mahjong? The ultimate technique once developed in ancient China? Its power is so great that the emperor of the time would ban its use. I didn't know that there were people who could do that in this era. Oh, if I got that info from I got this info from the history of ancient Mahjong. Tsubame Gaeshi, isn't that the technique of Musashi Miyamoto's? How does that involve Mahjong? It's a bold technique where you switch your hand with the wall in a flash. Yeepaw! Hey, Mion. Why would you teach something like that to an innocent girl like this? Well, ha. Oh, I want to see it. Can anybody do it? Can you, Rika-chan? I only know about it. I can't do it myself. Satoko, weren't you practicing it a while ago? Wait a minute, Satoko. Don't practice something like that at your age. But she's a trap master. It sounds like something she would do. Oh, the best time to set a trap is when the opponent is sure of his victory. So did you ever master it? You were practicing, right? Well, I could never use it in a real game. Even in practice, I only succeeded once or twice. Wow! I want to see it! Do it for us! Beep! I want to see it too! Very well, you all. Don't laugh if I can't pull it off, alright? Satoko sat in front of the table and started piling up the tiles. Do you really think Satoko can do it? Well, I don't know. It'll be amazing if she can do it, and cute if she can't. I don't care if she makes it or not, because I enjoy seeing her act shy like this. Hehe. Well, first of all, you start by planting the tiles you want onto the wall ahead of time. I see. Then you later swap them for your hand. But how? Sleight of hand? Hehehe. Well, you instantly swap all the tiles from your hand with the planted tiles. This is a scene I'd love to show you by running a video through Enscriptor, but hey! Unfortunately, I can't. Unfortunately, I can't time that text to a sound novel. I have no idea who me could be talking to. You say, looking at the camera? Are you ready? Everyone gulped and looked closely at the table. Sadako moved her hands like a swan on a lake. She had 13 tiles in front of her. and she silently flipped them all face down. Then she lifted them up by holding both ends and silently placed them against the back edge of the wall, keeping them hidden. This is it, Satoko. I don't know if I can do it, but I'll try. We all went quiet. Satoko reached toward the Yamahai. Then she grabbed the whole thing with her small little hands. Let me explain how hard it is to pick up the wall with those unfamiliar with Mahjong. Your hand is usually made of 13 tiles. If you push them from either side hard enough with both hands, you can lift them up in the air. You might drop and scatter them if you're not experienced, but it's still not that difficult. However, it's not that easy for the wall. The Yamahai usually consists of 17 tiles, and plus, there are 2 rows on top of each other. This is the important part. It's not as simple as lifting up 2 rows of 17 tiles on top of each other. You must lift them 17 tiles from top row, and then the 4 tiles at the edge of the bottom row. By setting them up 13 tiles from your hand placed on the wall, you can bury your hand in the wall, and the lower 13 tiles that remain from moving of the wall become your new hand. This is the ultimate technique of Tsubame Gaishi. There. It's a technique that lets you switch all 13 tiles in a split second! You can do it, Satoko. We're about to get to an ad break. I could see Satoko trying to concentrate. She was supposed to be doing this more naturally since it's a technique for cheating. There it is. And we're back. But since for the moment it was just a performance, I suppose it's fine. Someone audibly swallowed at the exact moment she made her move. There! Crash. She put too much strength into it. Her tiles fell apart. Oh no! I can't do it. It's not that easy, you know. I see, but I think I understand the gist of it from Mion's explanation. Let me try it. I'm gonna try it too. I guess I have to master this one now or else it'll be troublesome later. I'm trying it too then. All of us except Mion took a seat and started piling up the tiles. At a glance, you look like small children who are just playing with the tiles. But they're actually practicing the Tsubame Gaishi. I'm proud of how my club members are growing up to be decent kids. Hehehe. My hands and Satoko's hands are about the same size. If she can do it, I know I can do it too. Of course, I can't really use the trick during a real game. We were just playing around, but I was having a good time. I've never done this before in my 100 years of life. I think my hands are slowing down. I'm so frustrated. It's hard just to lift up the first 13 tiles. Oh. Listen, Rena, you have to use your pinky finger. There you go. It's gonna explode if you push too strongly. But you have to use enough strength to lift it up. It's difficult, isn't it? It's very difficult to lift up the first 13 tiles to begin with. Not everyone can get past this stage. Sadako was doing well the first time, but she lost her concentration and is dropping her tiles now. I took Keiichi's advice and supported the tile with my pinky fingers to lift it up. Oh, I did it! Meep! I lifted up the first 13 tiles! Good for you! Rika-chan has a lead on us. We need to do better. You were good at this. Can you do the next step? It's not that easy, but I really want to get it right before anyone else. That's what we're racing towards right now. Hee. I'm gonna do it. Is Rika-chan going to be the first one? You're done if you pull off the next move. But that one's so difficult. Go, Rika! This is the hard part. I had to lift up the whole top row, and only 4 tiles from the bottom row. Probably didn't need to use too much force. I can do this. Crash. Oh, too bad. The number of tiles increased to 17. It's a lot more difficult. It got a lot more difficult, didn't it? I'm gonna do this before everyone else. There'll probably be punishment for those who can't make it. What? Is this true, Mion? I wonder what I should do. Hee. There were only 4 seats, so Mion wasn't even in the game. Did that mean she could use this as setup for a punishment with no risk for herself? Oh, that's not fair. You're not even playing me, Chan. If you have the time to complain, you should practice harder. This is getting interesting. I thought we came all the way to Okonomi to get donations for the auction. Why were we doing this now? Although, this is why I love hanging out with these people. If it weren't for them, I would have lost my soul a long time ago. I would have become a worthless piece of flesh. I've heard about rabbits who can die from loneliness, but humans are no different. We are social creatures. Humans can also die of boredom. Hanyu, I really do think this world is special. I know all these events could happen individually, but now they're all happening at the same time. This is like a miracle. What could possibly bring this crashing down? Your fate really was so unfortunate up until this point. You deserve this kind of happiness every once in a while. You're right. If I had such a miserable, deadly fate, I do deserve some happiness that evens out the sadness. I feel like the luck I'd been getting in this life was something I'd been saving up for 100 years. People I love are all healthy and happy. I also asked Takano to reinforce my security. I don't know if she really will, but she promised me. She never did that in my previous lives. I think her reaction to my request was one of the best so far. In fact, she was skipping on her way back home. She must have been in a good mood. I was sorry for breaking the family rules, but I think it was worth it. I told them that their lives were also in danger, but I doubt they really believed that. They didn't seem too frightened by it. I'd have to give them a final warning on the night of the Watanagashi. If I tried warning them too often, they'd never believe me. Does that mean there's nothing for me to do in this world right now? I don't know. Until the moment of truth is here, it's impossible to tell. I'm blessed with miraculously good fortune in this world. I gave it my best effort, using all my previous experience. But did I do enough? I wish I could have my fortune told. I just wanted someone to tell me that I did everything right. Please tell me what my fortune is. As soon as I made the wish, God granted it to me. Oh, what's going on here? I suddenly heard a low voice. Keiichi and Rena dropped their tiles as soon as they heard it. Hey, Oishi-san! What are you doing in the toy store during working hours? Hello there. Don't worry, I'm off duty today. You mean bad luck today? What are you all doing? Eh? Looked like Oishi was ordering something from the owner. I wonder what this old guy wanted from a toy store of all places. Min was wondering the same. And she asked him instead of me. Nyahaha. My mahjong mat is warped because I kept it rolled up in storage for a long time. The green cloth is peeling off on the underside of my kotatsu board too, so I couldn't use that one either. You play mahjong at home? That's a nice way to spend your day off. Perhaps you get in trouble at the mahjong bar and they banned you from going there or something? No way. I'm a gentleman in any public establishment. I'd never cause any trouble like that. Anyway, you kids like mahjong? I figured that young people didn't even know about the game. Hehehe. Please don't underestimate my club. We'll play anything that has a winner and a loser. We never turn our backs to a battle. We play mahjong, slot machine, horse racing, bike racing, boat racing, calligraphy, flower arrangements, and croquet. I think she'll make us fight in the middle of a lava pit someday. It's okay, Rika-chan. Even if you die on that battlefield, you'll come back out of nowhere 2 or 3 chapters later. Foreshadowing! It's a literary device that... I have no idea what Keiichi and Rika are talking about. What are you guys doing? Are you piling up the tiles? No, not that. We're practicing the Tsubame Gaishi. You're practicing the Tsubame Gaishi? Yeah, oh dear. He's the one that showed me how to do the Tsubame Gaishi earlier today. What did you say? It's not like I can do it in a real game, but it's one of the tricks I can do. Oishi-san, will you please show it to us? I really want to master the technique. If I don't, I'm going to get into real trouble this winter. Nyahaha. Sure, let me show you. Let me show it to you. You must be the boy from the Mayabara mansion? Oh, sorry. Yes, I am. I'm Keiichi Mayabara. I moved here recently. Nice to meet you. Hey, you've never been in before? This is Oishi-san from the police department. He's on the festival committee and as the head of security team, so you'll see him at the meetings too. I've heard about you. They say you're always full of energy. I've been looking forward to meeting you because everyone's saying that you're going to be a great auction host. You'll have such a big responsibility at the festival. I'm surprised you accepted the offer. You have a lot of courage. But I'll do my best since I took on the job, so I hope things can go well. I'm Keiichi Maribara. It'll be a pleasure working with you. You're also a very polite young man. I'm impressed. I'm Oishi from Okonomiya PD. You can call me Korda-chan if you want. You can sit in my seat, Oishi. Oh, thank you. Let me show you the trick then. He rapidly gathered up the tiles. I can tell that he's been doing this for a long time. I heard that judo fighters can tell their opponent's rank just by looking at how he ties his belt. It's just like that. Yeah, thank you for the compliment, for complimenting me already. Alright, are you ready? I'm going to do it now. There you go. Thud, swish, clack, clack. All done. I'm all done now. Wow, that was so fast! We all broke out into cheers. You haven't heard the audience cheer for a big performance on TV, but it was really more impressive seeing it in person. He did so quickly, too. Made it look so simple that anyone could do it, but everyone here knows it's very difficult to do. That's why we were all impressed at how easy he performed the trick. Oh, you're amazing! You're so good! That was incredible. I'm seriously impressed. Will you teach me in slow motion? Heh. Sure, why not? Try and do what I do. It's more difficult in slow motion, but pay attention to how I use my fingers. Especially my pinkies. First of all, okay, I got that one. Then what do I do? Then you do it like this. No, don't lift it up. Try and think of it as sliding it forward. But don't push it. Just slightly lift up like a hovercraft. Slightly lift up like a hovercraft. There! Damn it. You don't need any strength. You can't make any noise, you know. You have to do it silently like a ninja. Silently like a ninja. Let me try one more time. It was strange. I'd never seen Keiichi and Oishi play Mahjong together. Keiichi-kun and Oishi-san looked like they could become good friends. I guess it's like male bonding or something. Oishi usually appears only after Takano and Tomitaka get murdered on the night of the Minagoroshi, so why is he here this early? He's only ever appeared on the scene as a detective. We are humanizing this man. He always approaches Keiichi as a detective, so he never thought of him as someone he could trust. He only thought of Keiichi as a decoy to expose the culprit among the villagers, or some nonsense like that. So even when you see it, it's hard to believe that Keiichi and Oishi are having a good time together like friends. I've never seen Keiichi and Oishi getting along with each other. I know. It's my first time too. How am I supposed to react to this? I thought it was bad when I first saw Oishi today. I couldn't understand this world at all. My heart was pounding and I had a strong feeling that I'd roll a 6 every time I threw the die. I should roll it again. I think I'll roll a 6 again. I'll know before I roll it. I will roll a 6. And I will finally defeat my deadly fate. Welcome to our store. Oh, there you are. Oishi-san, I got it for you. My heart started racing. The voice sounded so familiar I'd heard it before. But that couldn't be right. Hanyo always warned me. Don't expect too much. It couldn't be him. Oh, Akasaka-san! Thank you very much. Did you have any trouble finding the store? I'm sorry I got lost. Who knows where I would be now if that nice postman didn't help me. Ha ha ha. A young man was standing there. Oh. Oh, he has a Sprite now! He was wearing a casual outfit and holding a plastic bag in his hands. I always thought Akasaka wore a shirt and a tie. He also seemed much smaller. He looked at me and I stared at him. Well, to be fair, you met him like 2 or 3 years ago. Normally, you look away when you make eye contact with a stranger. But we stared at each other without averting our gazes. Is that you, Akasaka? And you are Rika-chan. Huh? You know him? Akasaka-san, you knew Furude-san? That's a big surprise. It's been so long. You grew taller, didn't you? You seem stronger too. This is Mamoru Akasaka. He's a detective from Tokyo Metropolitan Public Safety Department. He sometimes shows up in Hinamazawa in 1978. So this was Arc 4. Where Akasaka was the narrator of that arc. So it's funny to see, it's like Keiichi, it's like, this is what you look like! He has no relation to Hinamazawa or my deadly curse, but outside the village, he's the person I trust the most. I've asked him for his help in the past several times, but nothing ever came of it. He's from so far away. He forgets about me once he returns to Tokyo. That's why I've given up on him. Why are you here in Hinamazawa again? I left my daughter with my parents. And I came here on a trip with my wife. Oh, his wife lived this time! Yay! Your wife? Yes. You saved her life. Oh, in this version he left. Oh. You must have no idea. Akasaka loves his wife so much. Was it 5 years ago? He was in Okinomiya for a family business trip and he suddenly abandoned his job to return to her side. That's how much he loves her. Oh, that's so romantic. You warned me that something bad was going to happen if I didn't go back to Tokyo. That really concerned me, so I went right back to the hospital where Yukie was. Then I heard the janitor got into an accident on the stairs that led to the rooftop that day. The tiles on the stairs were loose. The janitor fell down the stairs and got seriously injured. I knew that was going to happen because I'd seen him lose his mind after hearing about his wife's death in a life I lived a long time ago. Falling down the stairs like that seemed to be just the luck of the draw. I didn't think it would happen all the time, but it had happened to him over and over. So I thought there must be some kind of reason behind it. I guessed it was because of the broken tiles on the stairs. If he didn't show up at the hospital that day, his wife would have gone up those stairs. It was her daily routine, but she didn't go because he showed up. Meanwhile, the janitor went up the stairs and got injured. But he didn't die. That's the important part. Rika-chan saved Yukie's life. I'm not sure that's really true. But Akasaka-san has no doubt that you saved his wife's life. He really wanted to meet you again. Rika's good at predicting things sometimes, though. That's because she's the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama. Oops! Fuma-chan and Sato-san should be here soon. We have to hurry, Akasaka-san. Well, Maebara-san, let's do this again. I'll teach you something more useful next time. Sure. Thank you very much. See you again, Rika-chan. How long are you staying here, Akasaka? I'll be here until after the Watanagoshi. Kind of for a long vacation, isn't it? They told me I needed to use up my vacation days. I just finished a big job, so my boss told me to take some time off. I'll be there at the festival. I heard this is going to be a huge event. That's right. It'll be more than just the drinking party you had last time. Akasaka, let's go. You saved Yukie's life. I'm going to make it up to you one day. When the time comes, I'll lend you my strength. I will be killed on June of 1983. It's been 5 years and I'm stronger and more experienced. I'm different now. I'm sure I can help you. I feel like I rolled a 6 without even throwing the die. Akasaka followed Oishi and ran outside of into the bright sunlight. Hanyu, does this also seem like luck to you? Hello. Seems like fate is on your side this time. Remember that day when we had the club activity in this toy store? The moment I refused to play the fishing game, the world started changing. My strong will is changing the path of fate. My strong will is going to change my fate. If I have a strong will, I can also change these results. We rode our bikes back home together. I was in a good mood. I almost felt like humming a song. I could feel my deadly fate slowly falling to pieces. I felt like my fate was urging me to move forward, to move on. Just like the sun and the moon during an eclipse, the wheels of my fortune were perfectly matched for the first time in a long time. This really might have been a miracle. This wasn't like the true miracle of Keiichi remembering the past. It was good fortune within expectations. But when it was arranged this well, it was enough to be considered a miracle. I couldn't remember the last time I felt so good in June of 1983. My name is Rika Furude. My ominous fate was moving away from me. With each step I took, that deadly fate withdrew further and further. I'd have to stay strong and take advantage of this miracle. I moved forward at high speed. Watanagoshi was so close. My luck and effort had brought about this miracle. And so I will defend my fate, or I will defeat my fate. This time for sure. Go for it! Yay! The next moment, something happened. Keiichi had accidentally scratched the motorcycle that was parked by the street. Oh no, them thugs! They're back! A group of 3 delinquents were trying to intimidate him. Oh well, what shall we do? Just watch. I have the power to get rid of them now. I think we should call the police. Don't worry, Satoko. Leave it up to me. Rika? Hey, Rika! I walked towards the delinquents, even as they grabbed Keiichi by the collar. What the hell are these pathetic guys? Are they trying to stand in my way while I'm trying to have my happy future? I should teach them nothing can stop me now. I know I'm rolling a 6 without even throwing the die. Say something, you punk! Are you listening to me? They continued to grab Keiichi's shirt. Keiichi, Mion, and Rena were staring at them with vicious looks in their eyes. I got between them. Huh? What the hell do you want? Ouch! Get the hell out of here! Don't even think about ruining my fate! I plucked his nose with my fingers again. He never expected that from a little girl like me would attack him. He seemed surprised, but quickly returned to being angry. Then he picks me up by the collar, too. Rika-chan! Stop it, you jerks! Let her go! Oh, Rika! Do you have a plan? No, I don't. But I'm trying to prove that this is nothing compared to the power I have now. If I can't deal with this situation, I'll never escape my deadly fate. I rolled the die, knowing what I was going to get. I knew that I'd be rolling a 6. Next moment, 2 men in working overalls came up to the 3 delinquents, tapping them on the shoulders. Let go of her. She's just a little kid, you know. Who the hell are you? They started a fight. Shut up. They started to fight. Shut up and go away. Those working men weren't just random people who were passing by. I knew who they were. Let's have a talk over there. One of the men pushed the 3 delinquents into the side of the street. The other men spoke to me in a calm voice. Are you okay? Rika-san? Thank you very much. You saved us. He lended me his hand so I could stand up. Off with you now. We'll take care of the rest. I don't know who you are, but thank you so much. Are you sure we can go now? Yes. Don't worry about us. Thank you very much. I can hardly believe that Keiichi-san was so weak. Let's go, everyone. We got on our bikes in a hurry and left the scene. We had no idea who saved us, but we were glad that all of us were safe now. But I knew who they were. They must have been the security guards who work for Takano. Takano kept her promise. Those guys are professional bodyguards. They only do what they're ordered to, but they make sure their mission is complete. Takano told them to protect me. That's the best protection I can get. After we left the scene, a white van with 2 men in it followed us. Nightingale reporting, R is moving to the safe zone. We'll continue escorting her. This is Heron, roger that. Everything was working in my favor for the first time ever. The pedals seemed so light that day. I felt like I could fly in the sky if I wanted to. How is all of this gonna come crashing down? Before the flight. I'll do one more chapter, because that took a lot longer than I thought it would. That took it an hour and 40 minutes to read through. So we'll do one more. Before the fight. Here's your plane ticket. Flight. Don't be late. You'll get the rest of the money when you get there. Thanks a lot. Here, Mamiya. Yeah, thank you. I've always wanted to go to Sapporo. Are you sure Hojo isn't suspicious of you? Don't worry. He's stupid. He's got a big dick and a big attitude, but that's all he's got for him. Is that so? Next moment, they heard several cars coming towards them. Oh no. The man looked out the window and saw 3 black cars screeching to a halt by the apartment building. Several intimidating men emerged from those cars. Some of them even looked up towards the window. My guy, you're being conned. He quickly hid himself behind the curtain. Shit, they're here. Run. Are you serious? But why? Come on, Mamiya. They're going to kill you. They heard the men running up the stairs. They sounded angry. Yeah, so, what did Rika say? That, is the one thing that she, will give up on? Is if Tepe comes back. So, Tepe exists in this world. And welcome to the other part of the arc, is where they have to save Satoko. We should be getting to an ad break soon. Oh, Mion actually lost! He actually won, good for him! Alright, ad break, and then we'll get back to this. Alright, let us begin again. It was a very humid day. Not even a slight breeze was blowing. It had been an unpleasant summer, one that wasn't only hot, but swelteringly so. There were various articles of clothing hung out to dry in the messy apartment windows, but the lack of wind invoked an impression far removed from coolness. In fact, it felt more oppressive. There were crooked houses and apartment linings the narrow, twisting road. In addition, there were planters and flower pots whose contents had been beginning to rot, as well as bicycles and cars on the side of the road, making it feel even more cramped, more oppressive, and all the more sweltering. Nobody who was in this place at this time was visiting it voluntarily. But in spite of what everyone might expect, a single motorcycle came rolling in. The motorcycle stopped in front of a two-story apartment. Only one could hardly call it neat, even as flattery. The man, fairly old and wrinkled, stepped off. While the nearby housewife hanging in the laundry noticed him, she called out, "Well, hello there! It's quite hot again today, isn't it?" "Well, you've got that right. I feel like I'm gonna boil out here." "Eh-heh." Suddenly I got goosebumps all over my body. I felt like something bad was about to happen for no reason. Everyone gets this feeling in different ways. Some people get a twitch in their eyelids, or some kind of movement in their ears. In my case, I get goosebumps. Satoko was supposed to be cooking dinner tonight. We didn't have much inside the refrigerator, so I asked her to go grocery shopping. I was just watching TV and relaxing while I waited for her. She was usually back by the time my cartoon was over, after which she'd start cooking dinner. But my cartoon was over. The news had started and Satoko wasn't home yet. Satoko sometimes waited until they had a sale at the store. In that case, she'd usually come home late. That must be what was happening. It was too early for me to start worrying about her. But, I can't explain this feeling. I can't explain it, but I feel extremely worried. Once I started feeling like that, I couldn't just sit in the room and wait for her. Hanyu? Hanyu? Where are you? I thought she might know where Satoko might be, but she's never around when I need her. Hanyu's not with me 24 hours a day. She sometimes falls asleep, and sometimes she goes out for walks. Though in her case it's not a walk, but more like a stalk. She follows people around when she finds someone interesting, and she enjoys observing them. Anyway, I had no choice. I'd have to find Satoko on my own. I had a good idea which store Satoko goes to. I should check those first. We're in Hinamizawa. If I ask people, they'll tell me where she went. Hello there, Rika-chama. It's a blessing to see you here. Did Satoko come by here by any chance? I haven't seen Satoko-chan here. I've been out here all day, so I would have seen her if she was here. I didn't even have time to say thanks. I ran to the next store. People were greeting me and waving at me. I'd usually smile and greet them back, but I had no time for that at the moment. Satoko! I need Satoko in my life. I was able to survive for so long because of her support. Without her, this world would be so empty and boring. Satoko is nonchalant and optimistic, unlike me. I've learned so many things from her over these past 100 years. But I still need to learn more from her. Satoko! People around me were staring at me as I ran by them, screaming out her name. I didn't care what they thought, though. Satoko! Why are they looking at me like that? I'm looking for Satoko. Somebody tell me where she is. Ha 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 ha. My heart was convulsing in my body like a fish out of water. What little stamina I have. I hate my body for being so young. You know the store in the corner that always has a sale in the evening? She might be there. I went to a few different places, but I still couldn't find her anywhere. The people I talked to gave me advice on where to go, but I couldn't find her any place they suggested. I continued to run, looking for her. I continued to run even when I bumped into people. I don't know, I had so many customers, I can't remember. There are only a few places in Hinamizawa where we can go grocery shopping. It shouldn't be that difficult to find her, so why couldn't I? Ah! I tripped on something in the street and fell flat on the ground. Ouch! I injured my hand on a small rock embedded in the ground. I didn't feel much pain, even though I said, ouch! It just felt hot, and as if I had touched a frying pan. Suddenly, someone handed me a pretty handkerchief. Are you okay? Did you get hurt? Rena? Did you see Satoko anywhere? Rena was carrying a grocery bag. I've heard that Satoko bumps into Rena often when she goes grocery shopping. They tend to choose the same stores. Satoko-chan? No, I didn't see her today. Was she out grocery shopping? Yes. You didn't see her? No, I didn't. There's no way she would have missed a big sale at the market today. I was there, but I didn't see her. My brain wasn't getting enough oxygen. It took me a while to understand what Rena was talking about. I understood that Rena didn't see Satoko. But that wasn't the point. They had a huge sale at the market today? There's no way Satoko would miss that sale. But she still didn't see her there? What was that supposed to mean? What happened? Did she leave her wallet at home or something? Well, I couldn't find the right words to explain. Should I tell her I feared that something bad happened to Satoko, and that's why I was looking for her? No, I couldn't do that. I couldn't think too deeply about why she hadn't returned home. What's wrong? Can I help out? Talk to me. I knew she was just trying to help me. I even thought I needed someone to help me just a few moments ago. But now that she was here, I had no idea what I was supposed to say. No, that's not it. The truth is, I know. Somehow I know. I wouldn't have known if it was someone else. But I have to know this. Rika Furude has known what's going on. I know it. I remember it. I knew this was coming. I've experienced a world before where Satoko suddenly disappeared. But the possibility of that happening is as low as Asaka showing up in Hinamizawa. It only happened randomly in other lives. This was not the first time. It happened before, too. I should see it for myself. I need to see if I'd gotten stuck inside a devastating world again. You talk to me? I'm sorry. Goodbye. Hey, Rika-chan! I started running. I couldn't pretend like I didn't know where she was. Please don't tell me that I was bussed only up until this point, that I'm about to fall back into my unfortunate fate from here on. I thought this world was different. I thought I could move on to a happy future. I thought I would be able to defeat my deadly fate in this life. But this was just horrible. It was horrible that this was happening in this world. I was standing in front of the place that I hate the most in Hinamizawa. Yes, it's Satoko's real home, the Hojo residence. I've been living with her since last fall, so the house was empty. In the beginning, she used to come back here to pick up her clothing and other necessities. But when she moved most of her stuff to my house, Satoko stayed away from this place. This was a sad place for Satoko, because she could remember all of it, the horrible time she spent with her uncle and aunt, and the remembering of her missing brother, Satoshi. Blech. That's why she never wanted to come back here. But that wasn't the reason why I hate this house. It's because I know what happens whenever this house becomes an issue in my life. Oh God, please. Please bless me with just one more fortune. I closed my eyes and prayed, and then I slowly opened them. The window was open on the second floor. I saw a faded curtain swinging inside. As soon as I saw that, my knees realized what was going on, even before my mind processed it. In the next moment, I lost the strength in my legs and collapsed on the ground. I saw an unfamiliar motorcycle parked by the house. I also saw a laundry and a futon hanging outside. I was certain that someone was living here. It was proof that someone was living here inside this house. It's never good when there's someone living inside this house. This is very, very bad. I knew exactly why. I knew why, but I felt like I wanted to act like I didn't know. Rika? Satoko? Satoko went outside to take the futon and then noticed me. Rika? Satoko leaned down and forced herself to smile. I felt so sad. It wasn't just her expression. I could tell that her left cheek was red and swollen. Satoko, don't stay here. Let's go home. I took her hand. She looked down without squeezing it back. Rika, I think I'm going to go back to this house. Well, why is that? My uncle came back, and he told me we should live together in this house. I know that's not what you want. You don't want to live with your mean uncle. But I have no choice. If I go back to your house, he'll come and get me. I don't want to cause any trouble for you. She gave up with a sad smile. She looked exactly how she looked 1 year ago in 1982. Her uncle only slapped her face and she was back to being the Satoko from 1982. The cheerful Satoko I had known up until yesterday could no longer be found. I took care of Satoko and tried to heal her wounded heart for over a year. She finally got her smile back. But her uncle took it all away with just one slap to her face. A broken soul can recover over time. But her damaged heart can never be fixed completely. I just took up the pieces and put them back together. The cracks in her heart will always be there. That's why she wouldn't come to me, no matter how hard I tried to pull her hand. She couldn't get over the fear. She knew just how scary her uncle could be. And he probably would bust down the door and just take the child back. Satoko! What the hell are you doing? You better not go anywhere. I heard a disgusting voice from inside the house. Satoko stared at the ground. Her shoulders were shaking. Huh? There he is with his stupid shirt. Who the hell is this? He came out and stood right behind her. It's nothing. I just bumped into my friend. I don't care. Go inside and clean the bathtub. I want to take a bath, you idiot. Satoko scampered back inside the house like a terrified small animal. I feel devastated as I watch her go. Were you asking her out to play? I'm sorry, but she's busy taking care of chores. I'm her uncle. I've been out for a while on a business trip. I'm finally back in the village, you know. Liar. He only showed up back up when his lover went missing. In another world, I once let my hatred out on him. But then he inflicted that anger in equal turn on Satoko. So I couldn't allow that dark flame burning within my chest to reflect in my eyes. Since I couldn't make myself smile, I couldn't insult him. And all I could do was give him a short bow and run away from the scene. You're intimidated by my scary face, huh? Kia ha ha ha! I heard his hideous laughter from behind me. I cried as I ran away. I couldn't stop crying. I thought this was the perfect world up until today. Why had God done this to me? It's too cruel! But I couldn't give up yet. I couldn't do anything, but I still had hope for this world. I didn't think the luck I had until yesterday was just a random thing. I went back to my house in a hurry. I needed to make a phone call. I didn't know the number because it was my first time calling the place. I looked inside the phone book, back when we had those, and I found it easily. I made a call to that number. Hello, CPS? Oh, hello. Didn't expect to get a call from you, Furude-san. What can I do for you? I already knew that Oishi could never save Satoko based on what I've seen in my previous lives. For him, Satoko is only a good way to get at the Sonozaki family. Her uncle is probably his prey in that regard, too. Even if I talked to him about her situation, he would do nothing to save her. The only thing he'd do was tell me to call child consultation center. I want to talk to Akasaka. Is he there? Akasaka-san? He went to the hot springs in, Wakura with his wife. Wakura? That's not anywhere near here. I thought he was staying until the Watnagashi. I heard he was going to stay in a hotel owned by a relative of his. I wish I could go too. What? You want to know where Wakura is? It's on Ishikawa Prefecture, on the Noto Peninsula. There. No way. He told me that he was staying here until the Watnagashi. I thought he meant he was staying in Hinamizawa. But he didn't. But he did actually mean this area of the country in general? Can you get a hold of him somehow? That was a meaningless question. There's no way I could get him to come here while he was enjoying a trip with his wife. Even if I can talk to him on the phone, he'll probably only tell me to call the Child Consultation Center or something. Yeah, I don't know where he's staying. I heard it's a very famous luxury hotel, so I can make a pretty good guess. Yeah, I'm sure they won't give me the room numbers since they're strict about customer privacy these days. Okay then. Did Akasaka tell you that he's coming to the Watnagashi festival? Yes, he did. He's coming back after the hot springs. They've stayed only for one night and then they left for the Noto Peninsula. I'm sure he'll be back by the day of the festival. He said he'd get back with a souvenir for you. How terrible. I thought it was too good to be true. I knew it was kind of strange for him to stay in a boring place like this. My luck seemed to be turning. This might not be a surprise, though. Just like I can roll 6 on a die 3 times in a row, I can roll a 1 3 times in a row, too. Happy things and unhappy things can happen in equal probability. Hello? If you want to leave a message, I'll take it for you. I looked at the calendar on the wall. I didn't know when he was coming back. I was certain he would, but wouldn't be for at least one more week. I thought I'd back to the past to try and remember what happened. The guy will break Satoko apart in 1 week. I couldn't wait that long. I had to give up on seeking help from Akasaka. Well, that's okay. I still had one more option. One more person I could rely on. No, that's all right. Thank you for your help. Iba! I hung up the phone after thanking him. I couldn't make a phone call to the next person. I'd have to talk to him in person. Put my shoes on and headed to the Irie clinic. Clinic's hours were over for the day. There was usually no one here after that. However, since Tomitake was here, they should still be inside the building for a meeting. They had to be there. The front door of the clinic was locked as I expected. I went around the back door and rang the bell. The whole clinic was nervous when Tomitake is around. They usually ignore visitors, but I'm special. What's wrong? I heard you had an emergency. You need me too? That doesn't sound good. Irie and Takano showed up as soon as soon I was taken to the visitors' room. If Rika Furude had an emergency, then it's a priority for these two people. I'm sure I'm the most important person in the village. Could it be? Someone is trying to get to you? You are protected at all times by the elite security of the mountain dogs. They've been watching you since the day we made that promise. Hee hee hee. I had no doubt about that. They saved me right away when we had that confrontation with those 3 delinquents the other day. That's not it. I have a favor to ask. I want you to save Satoko from danger. What's happened to Satoko-chan? Irie doesn't have that much power alone, even if he really wants to save her. But Takano controls the mountain dogs, so she does have that power. In my previous lives, I was never able to get help from the mountain dogs because I wasn't on good terms with Takano. But this world is different. I have a better relationship with her in this life, and she even kept the promise that she made. I trust her abilities completely now. Tepe Hojo is back. That's horrible. It was mainly Satoko's aunt who was abusing her last year, but Irie knows her uncle was violent with her too. I told them that Satoko had gone back to the same condition she was in the previous year. I don't know what will happen. I need your help. I need you to help me save Satoko. Irie seemed to want to do something for her, but he didn't know exactly what to do. What shall we do? Shall we call the police and let them know? I don't know about that. At this point, all he did was come back and take her in as her legal guardian, right? It's not like she's been seriously injured by him. That's not the case, right? No, that hasn't happened yet. But it's only a matter of time. Something bad is going to happen if we don't do anything. I hate to say this, it's only a matter of time. I knew how she's going to get abused and how she's going to end up. I've seen it in the past. I really wanted to tell them about it. But I couldn't do that. As it hasn't happened in this world yet, they'd think I was just imagining it. I think you should call the Child Consultation Center first. I remember. Satoko-chan made a false report to the Child Consultation Center once. But remember, she was probably at level 5 and having illusions. I wonder if they would take her seriously. The answer is no. My friends contacted the Child Consultation Center several times in the past, but Satoko always refused their help. She claims that she isn't being abused. The Satoko from 1983 might have asked for their help, but currently she was the Satoko from 1982. For her, living with her uncle reminded her of the time when Satoshi was around. She feels like Satoshi will come back if she can live strongly without always relying on her brother. That's the other thing. She puts all this pressure on herself to try to be stronger. Like, she's aware of her own flaws. Even if the Child Consultation Center were to take the case seriously, it's just too late. I try to remember. In the most recent world where I experienced it. It only took a few days after Satoko was kidnapped by her uncle. Was kidnapped! It only took a few days for him to tear her heart apart. We had no time to waste. We needed to take action quickly. We can't rely on anything unless she seeks help. I think Dr. Irie can call the police, but that's about it. I'm very sorry. That's not it. I want you to help her, Takano. Irie and Takano looked shocked and both went quiet. They didn't expect me to seek help from Takano. You mean, you want us to take a much bolder action? I'm here to ask for that. I wouldn't be here this late otherwise. I understand, but... Irie, if you're truly cherish Satoko, then please just listen to me just this once. Please save Satoko. In less than a few days, she'll really end up in horrible shape. That's already guaranteed. If you try and wait and see how things go, it's no different than watching her die. Have you forgotten how Satoko was last year, Irie? She's already reverted to that state, right this very second. In a few more days, it'll be too late to do anything. All I can do was stare at him, believing that Irie could see the future. Only I knew, and the tragic and awaiting Satoko reflected in my eyes. Irie remained silent for too long, a time to call brief. Someone who's trying to think of an excuse to avoid the issue wouldn't be going silent that long. He was recalling Satoko's terrible state last year, and seriously considering if my plea was as urgent as I made it out to be. I know that he really cares about her. That's why I needed his help. What shall we do? Irie nodded and looked up. I guess he finally came to a conclusion. I just hope it's a positive one. Takano-san, please do what Rika-chan wants you to do. Irie! I remember how hopeless I felt when I couldn't do anything to save Satoko-chan last year. I want to take this chance and save her this time. But Doctor... Takano didn't think that Irie would make that decision. She seemed shocked to hear his response. I wouldn't ask you this as the director of this clinic. Please help Satoko-san, or would like to ask you as the director of this clinic. Dr. Irie, what do you mean when you say help her? Please calm down. Satoko-chan is very important to us. She has greatly contributed to our research for a long time. Protecting her is considered one of your work orders. Irie continued, though Takano tried to persuade him. Kyosuke Irie is asking you as your boss. Please, save Satoko-chan. I stared into Takano's eyes together with him. I thought you and Satoko were friends. Please help her, as her friend. Help her, huh? That's a hypocritical way of saying it. You're not telling me to kidnap her and lock her up somewhere safe. You want me to help her so she can have a happy, normal life. In other words, you want her uncle dead, right? I mean, that was one solution. You have the right to make the ultimate decision of how you're going to save her. But you don't want to. If you don't want to, I don't mind making the decision. Dr. Irie, no. Section Chief. If we carry out your orders, both you and I will be responsible for it. Are you sure you're ready for that? I looked at his face. Unlike me, Irie has many things to lose. I knew that. Takano's words would shake him emotionally. However, Irie is determined. I will give him credit for this and only this. Yes, it's fine. Even if I'm called forward to defend my actions, it's better than betraying my own heart. An impressive show from someone who doesn't know what a hearing's like. If you do it quietly, they may not find out about it in Tokyo. Everyone would be happy that way. At risk of no reward. If you want, I'll show you more treasure in the shrine. I'd never restrict you from seeing these things. So please help me. The risk she's taking is larger than the reward I'm offering. But that's about the only thing I can offer her. I don't care about the traditions of the Furude Shrine, as long as I can save my friend from her suffering. Fine. I don't want to be the bad guy here. She forced a smile and accepted the favor I asked of her. Thank you, Takano-san. I want you to make the decision on how to save her. I will have a meeting with, Okonogi later to plan out the mission. Not later, it has to be now. She promised to save Satoko, but still wasn't motivated for it. It'd be too late if I didn't do something right now. I tried to make Takano understand this was an urgent matter. That's right. Rika-chan and I want to see some kind of result right now. I'm sorry for asking you this at the time, but can you please contact them now? You guys are so passionate about her, okay. It might take a few minutes. Thank you very much. No problem. It's an order from my boss. I'll do whatever I can. Just don't forget that promise you made, Rika-chan. I promise. I'll even serve you some rice cakes and tea when you come visit the shrine. Takano smiled slightly and left the room. Once we finally heard her footsteps fade away, the tension in the room dissolved. Yuri offered me something to drink, but I refused. He must have thought everything was taken care of, but I couldn't relax until Satoko was physically returned to me. Yurie? Does she have enough medication with her? Her uncle will keep her locked in the house, so she won't be able to come here for a while. Fortunately, I gave her a stock of medication and needles last week. She should be fine for a while. However, her mental state can't be controlled by the medication. If she gets too stressed, that can really cause some damage. That will happen within a few days. Oh, ad break. Takano hasn't come back yet. It's over there. Gonna rest my wrist. Okay, and we're back. Unlike Takano, who hadn't come back yet. I thought it would be bad news if she came back too early, but I started feeling nervous after she had taken so long. Yuri insisted that I go home because it was getting very late. I couldn't go home and relax, however, until I heard from her that everything was taken care of. I had to wait for her to come back. I needed to deal with the tension until then. Over an hour later, Takano finally returned. I'm sorry it took so long. How did it go? She was looking for the right words. I got a very bad feeling from that reaction alone. Unfortunately, it won't go as easy as we hoped anymore. Why is that? There was a murder case in Okonomiya not too long ago. The police suspect Teppei Hojo of being in the involvement of the crime, and they have him marked. A murder case? What do you mean? Some woman named Mamiya laid her hands on the Sonozaki family's earnings. Was murdered to set an example. Apparently, the police had taken an interest in the relationship between the Hojos and the Sonozakis. It turns out that woman was Teppei Hojo's lover. One Nagashi is getting closer too. Police want to prevent the 5th curse of Oyashiro-sama this year, so they marked Teppei Hojo as a candidate for the year's victim and started casting their lines. What do you mean by lines? They suspect he can reel in the true culprit behind Oyashiro-sama's curse if they keep their eyes on Teppei Hojo. So, you mean... Rika-chan, I'm very sorry, but the mountain dogs can't do anything to him until the police stop spying on him. No, I thought that the mountain dogs could perform any mission no matter how difficult. It's only when we plan it out carefully with extensive preparation. Usually we take a long time to observe the target, and we look for the right opportunity. It can take between 6 months to 1 year for a mission like this. Remember, we are a secret organization and we must remain out of the spotlight. If our secret is revealed, everything is over. It's too risky for us to target someone like him. Then when is the right opportunity coming? It will be after the Watanagashi at the earliest. After the festival, the police will stop watching him. But that would be too late. She's saying it'd be after the Watanagashi. I didn't even know if that was a day after or a year after. She also said it usually takes at least 6 months to prepare for this kind of mission. That's too long. I thought this world was different. But that hope was slipping through my fingers. So can we save Satoko-chan? I think it's best to follow the rules. We should report this to the police or the Child Consultation Center. We can even talk to the school. I did that so many times, but it never worked. Eri and Takano were surprised. They never expected me to raise my voice. In fact, I didn't think myself that I would react this way. But I couldn't keep my emotions in check after Takano suggested all those meaningless solutions. I've cooperated with you guys all this time. I've never asked for anything and I just gave you my support. But now you can't save Satoko? With all the power you have, why are you so afraid of saving her? The police and the public servants are useless. You're the only ones that take advantage of us and never actually help. Fine, I get it now. I know that this world is nothing but a dead end. I'm not interested in you guys anymore. I don't care about this world anymore. That's right, I can never escape my fate. It's the same old fate that I keep on repeating. You just burn to death in the mountains. You just take sleeping pills and commit suicide. I'll die like I always do, too. I'll lose my life without knowing how I'm killed. This life is nothing but a dead end. I was born to be killed in this world. Die, everyone, die. There's no meaning to this world anymore. Sobbing. I can't put words to my emotions anymore, and I started to cry. I was so lucky up until yesterday. I had so much hope in my heart, but it had all been for nothing. Felt like everything was just falling apart. I've lived for more than 100 years. I've lived far longer than a normal human lifetime. I thought I was blessed with good fortune of the first time in my life. This would never happen to me again. I thought a miracle had occurred, but everything was shattered. I cried at this cursed world. I needed to give up on my life as soon as possible. Satoko would be watching me with a smile in my next one. Waiting for me with a smile in my next one. I wanted to go see her. But what would happen to the Satoko in this world? What would happen if I abandoned her? I didn't know, and I didn't care. Satoko, 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 Satoko. I'm a witch who has lived for over 100 years, but I still couldn't rid myself of the human emotion in my heart. I didn't get anything to eat because Satoko was supposed to be making dinner tonight. But I didn't have an appetite anyway, so I figured I should just go to bed. I still had to make lunch for the next day, though. Satoko might come to school tomorrow. I rinsed the rice, hoping it would have enough. I wouldn't have to waste the lunch that I was making for the two of us. I had to stop thinking like that. I already knew this was a waste to make her lunch. I already knew that Satoko wasn't coming to school ever again. I felt so miserable while rinsing the rice. The tears started to drop into that as I thought about her. Why is this happening in this world? I thought everything changed when Keiichi gave that doll to Mion. In that world, Mion pretended to be his sister for a week to get closer to Keiichi. But that wasn't happening this time. I thought we would be having a good time at the festival. Huh? That's odd. Wasn't the club activity 2 weeks before the Watnagashi? I realized something. That club activity was the exact same time, but it happened 1 week earlier than the world I knew of. It was 1 week earlier than in my previous life. I get it now. I thought I was familiar with this world, but I was actually a different one where the events are mixed up. That means that even though Keiichi gave the doll to Mion, that didn't solve everything. I thought I was getting lucky. I was confident that everything was going to be okay. I stopped making an effort. I knew that there was a possibility that Satoko's uncle was coming back. But I let her go do that grocery shopping. I would have been more careful and kept her home if I'd knew that he was going to come back and get her. I should be careful in my next life. But there wouldn't be a next life that was so fortunate. I didn't get lucky that often. Even if I locked Satoko inside the closet, it would be over if Rena's father messed up or something, or if Keiichi lost his mind. I have to clear up everything that's not within my reach, and I also have to make the best effort I can. Without that, I can't overcome the fate of 1983. In this life, I may be able to overcome my deadly fate with Takano's help. But Satoko will not be there in my future. That defeats the whole purpose. My goal is to survive this year while laughing with my best friends. I don't want to sacrifice Satoko in order to survive. I don't want to live in a world without her. I was blessed with all of these fortunes, but I still couldn't defeat my destiny. I ruined everything because I stopped working so hard. I will never again have a lucky life like this. I lost my first and only chance. I cried and scratched at the floor. I didn't know if I would curse my fate or curse myself for not putting forth enough effort. Before I realized it, Hanyu was standing in front of me. I didn't know how long she'd been there. She just stared down at me with a look of pity on her face. Hanyu, I know what you're trying to say. You want to tell me what you told me not to get my hopes up. There's no way I wouldn't get my hopes up. With it being the first time I was blessed with so many fortunate circumstances. I believed that everything would go well, but you were always telling me not to expect too much. She probably felt something strange at the toy store that day. She realized that the date was 1 week off, and this was not the same old world that I knew. She had realized early that I still shouldn't be too excited about this life. I've been with you for a long time, so let me tell you this first before you ask me. I couldn't predict what fate held for us today either. The only advice I can give you is this. Fate in this world is as fickle as the weather, nothing more than a trifle unworthy joy or sorrow. There are 6 sides on a die. That's the reality of it. It doesn't mean that the 6 is the best number either. I should just take any number that I roll. I shouldn't be disappointed if I roll a 1 a few times in a row. It's pathetic how I thought rolling a 6 was the best result you could obtain. I still have many things to learn, even though I've been living for more than 100 years. I told you several times, but this world is not a miracle. If you wait patiently, you will come across a real miracle someday. How many decades am I supposed to wait patiently? How many centuries do I have to wait? We don't have that much power left anymore. I don't think we can go back to the time before June of 1983. The amount of time we can rewind keeps decreasing. You're telling me just to repeat this short amount of time for years? I almost lost my mind when I was repeating a few years over and over again. But you're telling me to repeat 1 or 2 weeks for years until the miracle happens? That's impossible. I was betting on this world. I bet all my coins on this one world. And I lost. I lost all my coins to this fate. I have no more coins left in my heart. The piggy bank is empty. These coins are known as hope. I have no coins of hope for my dreams to come true. Oh, Rika. I lay on the floor as if I collapsed. The floor should have felt cold, but I didn't feel anything. I lost all my hope. I always thought people could survive as long as they had some bread and water. But that's not right. People can't live without hope. People can survive because they believe that something good will happen to them eventually, as long as they keep on living. That's just for normal people who don't know what awaits them in the future. There's no such hope for a witch like me. I don't care about anything anymore. I don't care about this life. I don't care about the next. I just want to disappear and turn to ash. Oh, Rika, please don't say that. Rika, Rika. Anya's voice gradually fades away. I slowly lost my senses and I lay down on the kitchen floor and let myself sink into the darkness. This is fine! We're totally not having a depressive episode! I dragged my body to school, hoping that Satoko might be there. But just as I expected, there was no one sitting in her seat. I felt the more devastated just seeing it empty. I had nothing left to bet on. All I could do was get hurt and suffer devastation. Blood flowed in from my broken heart and found its way out through my eyes in the form of tears. Is something wrong, Furude-san? Is Hojo-san absent today? The whole class was wondering why I came in late today, and why Satoko wasn't with me. But even as I felt sympathy from everyone's eyes on me, I didn't feel any promises from them. No one was able to save Satoko. No one could save her. Why should I keep smiling at these useless people? This world is finished anyway. If I leave matters alone, then a few days after the Watanagoshi festival, my movie reel will be cut as if I'm murdered, like usual, and I'll return to the beginning of the month again. And so I'll continue to live like I'll live forever in June of 1983. Trapped here. Even death won't set me free from this prison. Furude-san, please talk to me if something happened. Where's Hojo-san? Is she sick? Shut up. The whole class gasped. No one expected Rika Furude to talk like that. I myself made such a blunt statement a few times in several past worlds, but it was always the first time anyone in that world heard it. But it was the first time anyone in that world heard anything like that. That must have been very easy for them, and I envied it. Furude-san! Chie was standing there, dumbfounded. I stood up from my seat. If Satoko wasn't around, I didn't want to be locked up inside this humid place. I'm going home. I'm not coming here anymore. Goodbye. Felt like saying something like that. However, I retained the small hope that Satoko might go to school the next day, so I kept it to myself. However, Chie wouldn't let me go. She grabbed me by the arm and dragged me to the teacher's office instead. She had told me to take a seat on the couch by the principal's office. She had no right to tell me what to do. I could just escape through the open window. And I didn't have the kind of energy, however, I sat on the couch as she told me to. I realized then that I didn't have the energy to be rebellious. Maybe Satoko felt the same. She lost the energy to rebel, and so she was simply obeying her uncle. Furude-san, please tell me what's going on. I'm sure I can help you. She spoke to me, but I already knew her words were empty. All she would do was call Child Consultation Center. She wouldn't go to the Hojo residence and pull Satoko out of there. There was no point in even discussing the topic with her. If I told her, she wouldn't keep it to herself. And shortly, everyone would know about what was happening with Satoko. That would only result in chaos. If I call the Child Consultation Center, the staff from there will go visit Satoko. Her uncle will deny the abuse, and Satoko will also deny it because of the guilt she feels over Satoshi leaving. Shortly after that, they'll find out about the false report Satoko made before, and they'll decide not to proceed any further. Her uncle will allow Satoko to go to school for a few days, but his abuse will get worse because he thinks she's the one who's called the Child Consultation Center. He'll do horrible things to her, just like her aunt did last year.
Calling the Child Consultation Center will not help Satoko. It will instead put her in an even worse situation. It's better not to notify them at all. But if we don't report it, then how else is this world supposed to improve? No, nothing is going to change. There's nothing that can be done once this unfortunate fate overtakes Satoko. You say Hojo-san's uncle is back. Is that true? I had somehow answered all of Chie's questions without noticing. I knew nothing would change when I spoke to her or not, so I just told her everything, because I had no energy to rebel. I understand what's going on now. This is horrible. So now now that you know what's going on, what can you do? She answered right away without faltering, already used to my spiteful tone. I will visit her house today. I need to see Satoko-chan and talk with her first. And if there's a problem, you're going to call the Child Consultation Center, right? They have it on record showing that she made false reports in the past. They'll never do anything unless there's proof of abuse. They're just like the police who don't start investigations until after someone's dead. They won't do anything unless Satoko is killed. When that happens, this is what both the school and the Child Consultation Center will say. We never saw this coming. She was such a bright girl. Ah ha ha, you people are idiots. Ah ha ha. I believe that the people from the center will do something about it. I will make sure to tell them that she needs help. We've done the same in previous lives, too. I wasn't denying her passion, but I couldn't say that there was no meaning to it, or that there was meaning to it. The problem wasn't with Chie. The problem was with them. No matter how hard Chie tried to seek help from the child services, it meant nothing as long as they held biased notions about Satoko. Doesn't matter if they find proof of abuse or not. I suddenly heard a voice from the hallway. It was Shion's voice. Oh yeah, so unlike last time, she has another person in her corner. She suddenly shouted, "Who's there?" And I heard Mion gasping, "Crap!" They must have been listening to our conversation. They were having a quiet discussion outside the door, but Shion accidentally raised her voice. She gets so violent sometimes. 4 people entered the room from the hallway. Mion, Shion, Keiichi, and Rena. I told you to stay in class. Go back to the classroom. We can't. Not in this situation. What are you going to do if something happens to Satoko? Do you want to be responsible for that? There's no time to waste. We have to do something right now. Thank you, Shion. My sis is saying things will get worse unless there's some kind of proof of abuse, but that'll be too late once there is. Do you want to see Satoko dead, Mion? That's not what I'm trying to say. I told you, Satoko once made a false report to the abuse hotline, and they have a record of it at the Child Consultation Center. Without proof, they won't investigate her case any further. Just think about what that means. It'll only make her uncle more furious. Satoko's situation will get even worse. What the hell? They're supposed to help her before something happens, right? Are they really not going to do anything unless she's seriously injured? Calm down, you two. I feel the same way as Shi-chan and Keiichi-kun. I don't want to wait until something bad happens. But we need to think about what we can do. What can we do? The Child Consultation Center, right? If we had the guarantee they'd help her, then it'd be fine. But Mion, what you're saying is highly likely they'll put the case on hold, right? Yeah. Unfortunately, that's what I think they'll do, just like last year. On top of that, she was in an even worse situation then. They put her case on hold, even though Satoko was already in a horrible shape. But this time, it's only been a day since her uncle took her away. Plus, her uncle has legal custody of her. We don't need to be so roundabout. All we have to do is ambush the bastard and Shion, no. Shi-chan, you can't do that. Satoshi-kun wouldn't want that. Then, how do we save Satoko? Satoshi-kun entrusted me. He trusted me to look after Satoko. If anything happens to Satoko, I could never face him again. Having her hands tied until after Satoko's been thoroughly abused isn't an option. When a crime is taking place right before your eyes, is reporting the first thing you do? No, it isn't. You stop it. We have to stop this ourselves. Oh no. Calm down, Shion. Shion will not. You're head of the Sonozaki family, aren't? Oh yeah, no, this is interesting. She's acting very much like Keiichi did before in R3. Use your power to save Satoko. You can do it, can't you? You have enough power to save her. I know the Heg's policy to stay completely out of the Hojo affairs because we're a graduate with a dam conflict, right? No matter what happens to Satoko, the Sonozaki main branch intends to ignore it, don't they? Neither the Child Consultation Center nor the Sonozaki family can save her. I have to do it on my own. Oh no! I'm going to do it. I'm going to kill that pig. I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to not get more than 150 seconds for me to get to the house. Shion, no! What can you do in 1,500 seconds? You can't do anything, can you? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna help her. Let me go. I'm gonna go kill him right now! Shion-san, settle down. Stop saying that or you're going to get into big trouble. They were desperately discussing how to save her. I just sat on the couch and stared at them vaguely. I'd seen the same discussion many times in many different situations. I tried listening to it. I was tired of listening to it. The only difference was that everything was happening a few days earlier than usual. Rika? It's okay. I'm not going to expect anything good anymore. I don't have any hope left in my heart. Anya made a sad expression. I couldn't tell if she was sad about our fate or if she was taking pity on me. Just as she promised, Chia went to Satoko's house after school. It had only been a day since Satoko's uncle took her away. She wouldn't be able to tell if he'd heard her already or not. The students hadn't made such a big fuss about it. Chia would have waited a couple days before going to her house. She already knew, however, what had happened to Satoko the previous year. She also knew that her uncle was abusing her just like her aunt, and that he had neglected to act as her guardian for a whole year. Considering those factors, it might not have been too soon for her to visit the Hojo residence. Satoko hadn't shown up to school that day. No one called the school to explain her absence. That alone was proof that her uncle wasn't taking responsibility as her guardian. Chia was going to her house to see what was going on with her own eyes. She parked the car on the street and checked the map she'd brought from the school. Hojo residence, on the sign on the front of the house. Chia was certain this had to be the place. The window on the second floor was open. She could see the curtain hanging there. From that window she could hear the laughing voices of several old men. No one had answered the phone when she called, right before leaving the school. She could also hear the clicking noise of the mahjong tiles along with the voices. She had never played mahjong before, but had a pretty good idea of that it was from the way the men were talking. If they were playing mahjong, there must have been 3 other men inside the house. Her students told her that Satoko's uncle was a very violent man. Chia was a teacher, true, but Chia was also just a young lady. She felt hesitant to ring the doorbell after hearing this disgusting laughter. But courage drove her forward. She made her decision and rang the doorbell. She heard the doorbell ring inside the house. But the laughing voices continued to echo from the second floor. It seems as though they didn't hear the bell. She rang the doorbell again. This time, the laughter stopped for a moment. Someone must have heard the sound. But soon after, they started laughing again. Didn't sound like anyone was coming to get the door. She thought someone heard the bell, but perhaps not. Gia was sure they were home, of course. She couldn't just leave because no one was answering the door. She knocked and yelled this time. Hello? Are you home, Hojo-san? Finally, the laughter stopped and the man with a scary look on his face opened the door. Who the fuck are you? Shut up and get the hell out of here. Chie felt intimidated by him, but her heart was filled with the teacher's pride and responsibility. Hello, are you Hojo-san? I am... Before she could introduce herself, Teppei screamed at her. Just shut up! I don't need no newspaper, no milk, no insurance. I'm busy right now. I'm working. People in the room laughed when he told her he was working. Chie couldn't give up. Wouldn't give up. She continued to speak. I'm the teacher at Hinamazawa Branch School. My name is Chie. Is Satoko Hojo here? Huh? What the hell do you want with Satoko? I came here because she didn't come to school today. I wasn't able to get a hold of her, so I'm wondering what happened. Huh? School? Yes, is she home? I need to talk to her. She's sick, that's right. She has a cold. Satoko is resting because she has a fever. I need to give her some handouts, so please, may I see her? Fucking idiot. Weren't you listening to what I just said? Satoko is sick. She's sleeping right now. I can't let you see her. Red flag. I see. Do you think she can come to school tomorrow? Who knows? I won't know until then. You idiot. I see. All right. Please tell her that I came by. Thank you. She had bowed, but the time she lifted her head, Teppei was no longer there. When Chie returned to the school, several students emerged from the classroom. There were Keiichi, Rina, Mion, and Shion. Rika was still also inside the classroom, but she wouldn't come outside. Chie-sensei, how'd it go? You went to Satoko's house, right? All right, let's go back to it. You were all waiting for me? Chie-sensei, how was Satoko doing? Was she okay? Well, I didn't get to see her. What the hell were you doing? You're a teacher, right? You came back just because he didn't let you see her? She will rampage. Stop it, Shion. That's about what we expected. I'm sure Satoko has bruises on her face by now. That's why I didn't want you to see her. You should have just ran into the house. I can't even trust you anymore. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. I'm sorry. Stop it, Chi-chan. She did the best she could. Now we know for sure. Satoko's uncle definitely has her locked inside the house. We knew that from the start. Rika-chama's been telling you all day. All day today. We wasted half a day just finding out that that's true. How the hell do you think you can help Satoko? Calm down. Let's make a plan. We care about her just as much as you do. We're not going to abandon her. Let's come up with a way to save Satoko. I already gave you my opinion, didn't I? It's the best solution we have. I can handle it all by myself. Shion, no. I only need your help to hide the body. Stop it, Chi-chan. Stop saying such violent things. Murder is a serious crime. It's the worst thing you can even think about. Then give me a different idea. If my idea is wrong, then give me a different one, even if it's only a little bit better. Come on. Come on. See, you can't even say anything. I can save Satoko in 1,500 seconds. I'll just drag his body to the Onagapachi swamp and dump him in there. I need your help, sis. What's wrong? Why don't you come up with another idea for saving her? That's not the point. If you try to figure it out by yourself, that's all you'll think of. Let me tell you something. 1,500 seconds? That's taking way too long. I would save her in 1,000 seconds. If I were you, I'd just leave here silently and do what I had to do. Do you know why I'm not doing that? It's because someone told me once that even if it's the only option that you have, murder is still something that you should never do. It's not the right thing to do, and it's never the best thing to do either. You just think it's the best solution because you're not thinking properly. A long time ago, I don't know who told me this, but someone taught it to me. If there's something that troubles you, you can't think about it all on your own. You can't think about your own solution is the best way to conclude things. We should all think about it together. If we all brainstorm, I'm sure we can come up with a better solution. It's not about whether my idea is right or wrong. Just thinking about it every minute we waste puts Satoko in more danger. You hate the Hojo family that much. No one is supposed to help Satoshi-kun and Satoko, no matter how much they're struggling. I'm going to help her. Get out of my way. I'm leaving right now. I'm going to stab that loser and save Satoko. Shion, no! No, Shi-chan, Shi-chan! You guys should curse yourselves. Curse your powerlessness. Fine, brainstorm for another ideal. You'll never come up with another one. Just go ahead and neglect her. You never really cared about Satoko. You only think of her as someone you could play with. But I'm different. She's more than just a friend for me. She's like my family. I care about her more than you guys do. Debatable. I'm gonna go kill him now. Goodbye! Wait a minute. What is it? Are you trying to stop me? Shion, you're not understanding even half of what Renata is trying to tell you. What? I totally understand what she's saying. We have to save her right away, but just a little courage needed to murder him. She'll be spouting hypocritical garbage to hide that fact. Shion, do you think Satoko would appreciate it? If you saved her by committing murder, especially if she, as we will later find out, considers her like a big sister? I'm not trying to seek her appreciation. I don't care what happens to me. Her happiness is all that matters. That's not right. You're talking tough, but I know you're scared. In fact, you asked me on to help you hide the body. In other words, you want to have a normal life after killing her uncle. You want us all to be happy, just like a few days ago. You want us back to where we were. But if you murder him, we'll never be like that again. Do you think you can really commit a perfect crime? You'll be arrested for sure. I'm prepared to face that. If I could end Satoko's suffering by doing time behind bars, I'd gladly pay that price. No, that's absolutely not true. You would curse yourself, I'd bet on that. You would curse yourself and regret it, wondering how you drew the short straw and became a murderer. You'd finally realize what you really wanted. It wasn't killing her uncle, it was returning us all to our happy lives. Your wish will never come true if you commit murder, says the man speaking from experience. Satoko will also curse herself. She'll blame herself, thinking she's the reason Shion became a murderer, which is the other aspect. She's already carrying a lot of self-blame. In fact, who's going to force Satoko to eat her squash if you're locked up? Who's going to talk about setting up mean traps with Satoko? supposed to do those things. Shion Sonozaki, you're her big sister. You have to be by her side at all times. Don't kid yourself. What you're trying to do is not for Satoko. It's just a huge mistake. If that's what you're saying, then you have no idea how to save her. You don't, do you? You're such a hypocrite. I said move. I'm killing him. I'm gonna kill him now. Heiichi blocked her way by standing in front of the door. Shion gave him a hateful glare, but he sent her back with a confident smile. I can't let you go, Shion. The world we all long for doesn't exist without you. I'm not going to let you go. Is that so? That means you're siding with Teppei Hojo? You're just as guilty as he is going to bust your head open and kill you first. Hey! Don't be stupid, Shion. Quit it already. Shion-san, what are you going to do with that chair? Oh no, Shion Sonozaki with the chair! Stop it! Put that chair down! He doesn't understand that I'm serious. I have to show him how determined I am. Better get the hell out of my way now. Shion, I admit that right now, I have no better idea. But that's just for the moment. I'm sure that we will come up with a better idea eventually. I guarantee it. I promise you we are going to save Satoko. So please, okay? Trust your friends. If you're afraid of committing murder for Satoko's sake, then you're not my friend anymore. I'm not going to tell you this again. Get the hell out of my way. Calm down and think about what you're saying. We will save Satoko somehow. Just trust us. Don't try and look for a shortcut. Trust your friends. Trust me. I, Keiichi Maebara, am going to save Satoko for sure. You can bet on it. Shut up. I can't trust you. What do you think you can do for her? Shion! Shion threw the chair at Keiichi. It hit him hard, and the chair fell to the floor with a loud noise. But Keiichi was unfazed even after being struck. He just stood in front of the exit without even covering his face. Wait, he wasn't unfazed. A trail of blood was pouring from his forehead where the corner of the chair hurt him. That was nothing. You thought I would move out of the way? I'm not going to move from here, even if you kill me. If I let you go, we might never see you again. Satoko will think about you every day, and her heart will be filled with sadness. If that happens, then there won't be anything we can do to make her happy. It's going to be a very sad life for her. I don't want Satoko to live in a sad world like that. The future that we want is a wild and riotous one, just like we had until a few days ago. Of course I won't let Satoko's uncle threaten her any longer. I haven't decided how I'm going to do it yet, but I will know soon. I promise. So please, just trust me. Shion wasn't yet convinced, but even so, she walked to the window and took her seat. Somebody rested a hand on Keiichi's shoulder. It was the principal. He'd been standing there listening to him for a while. Principal. Well done. Chie-sensei, I've heard what's going on. I'm sorry for being so powerless. I know it's only been a day, but I think this is an emergency. We should report this to the proper authorities. But sir, she had called the child consultation center before. They're not going to help her anyway. It's just a waste of time. Shion raised her voice. Principal looked at Shion and started talking. Shion Sonozaki-kun. There's one word that I really don't like. Do you know what that word is? It's what you just said. The anyway. That came out of your mouth. That was the cruelest word, which means admitting defeat before you even fight. By the time you've uttered that word, you've already lost your battle. I agree with him. I think we should try various options. Calling the Child Consultation Center should be the first on the list. If that doesn't work, we can try a second and a third option. Don't give up before you try. That's just as bad as not helping her at all. Principal, if you're reporting this then, you'll make sure to convince them that Satoko needs saving, right? Of course. Hojo-kun is my precious student. I'll do my best so that they will save her. They will try and take action as quickly as possible. So if we call them now, they should get to her house later tonight. I hope they will help her. But what if they put her case on hold? If that happens, we should come up with our next plan. As long as we don't give up, we can help her somehow. What are you guys gonna say? Satoko is getting hurt as we speak. Who's the one abandoning her here? Shion, I just promised you. We are going to save Satoko. Not by committing murder, but by saving her in a way that will make her happy. You just watch us. I, Keiichi Maibara, am promising you this. Shion stared out the window without looking at Keiichi's face. I'll try and find out from what the consultation center decides tonight. I'll call everyone when I do. I hope they'll take her into custody. We can't be optimistic about this. I think there's a huge chance that they'll put the case on hold. What are we going to do if that happens? If that happens, well, damn it. Chie-sensei, let's go to the teacher's office. We need to make this call. Yes, we need to make sure they really understand. They left the classroom. Keiichi, Reina, and Mion got together and discussed their own options. Shane was looking down and crying. Rika was just vaguely looking at them as if staring at a boring TV drama. Nothing will change. The Child Consultation Center will put her case on hold. I've seen it so many times in previous lives. I almost hope that they will take her into custody just this once. But I have no more coins left to gamble on a hope like that. In a previous life, Keiichi killed Satoko's uncle. But Shion was not there when that happened. When she is, I suppose she's the one who takes on that role. Like she almost did. Their pathetic hopes will be crushed by tomorrow morning. The social worker will be at her house tonight, but Satoko will deny that she's being abused. Her uncle will assume that she's the one who called the service and abused her even more. She will come to school tomorrow because he doesn't want Child Consultation Center to be suspicious of him. We will feel more and more helpless when we see the dead look in Satoko's eyes. I've been living for more than 100 years, but I've never defeated this fate. This fate of her uncle's return. I was blessed with so much luck, and I thought I could defeat it this time. But in the end, it all came down to the same thing. It was a waste of energy to put in any effort. I was worthless. It was all worthless. The more I thought about it, this inescapable fate, the more I pitied those people for talking endlessly about how they were going to save Satoko.
Whoa.
Wet blanket. Teppei returned to Hinamazawa to escape some trouble. He'd have to stay there for the rest of the summer, perhaps the whole year, to see what happened. For him, the house in Hinamazawa was like a rather dull hiding place. His lover Rina had suddenly disappeared. Rumors told him that she was involved with a dangerous deal. Some source even told him she had already been caught and killed. Everyone knew he was aware that Rina was living with him. Everyone he knew was aware that Rina was living with him. Everyone also assumed that he knew everything about what Rina did. They were convinced that he got money by tricking her into doing something, and as a result, some dangerous men came after him. That made it difficult for him to stay in Okonomiya. More than anything, it pissed him off to find out that Rina was cooking up something behind his back with some other guys. Hinamizawa was about the only place he could go. He couldn't go back to the house where he used to live with his wife, as it had been abandoned since he moved into Satoko's house. Besides, he didn't even have the key to his old place. But if he went to Satoko's house, she should still be there, and she could clean and cook for him too. Tepe didn't know how to cook or clean, and he certainly wasn't thinking of learning, because he's that kind of guy. Rina had often been rebellious towards Tepe. He had often said that he wanted to be with someone more loyal, like a pet. For Tepe, Satoko was exactly what he wanted. And yes, we're keeping that in every creepy possible way that you could interpret that sentence. As Satoko was still a little kid, she can't satisfy him sexually, oof, but it can at least make her wash his back in the bath, oof! Satoko's dead mother used to be a pretty woman. Satoko might grow up to become a pretty lady herself in about 4 or 5 years. Whoop! Tepe headed back to Hinamizawa with those indecent thoughts in his head. Oh no! The house was locked, so he assumed she was at the market for grocery shopping. He found her at the store and dragged her back home. However, the house was full of dust. She'd been living with a friend's house for the past year, and this house had been abandoned. Tepe exploded in anger. He told her that it was her responsibility to keep the house in order. He beat and kicked her down on the floor. Eventually, Satoko's expression returned to what he remembered from 1982. Satoko started obeying him immediately and cleaned up the house. A new place to hide with a new girl. Ew. His new life was starting out pretty good. Ew. Ew. Tepe called his buddies off to show off his new beginning and ended up playing mahjong with them. Bragged about his new pet and made her serve them food and drinks. Ew. He told her to walk on all fours like a real pet. Oh no! She refused, but she obeyed immediately when he tried to hit her. Oh no. Everyone was laughing and they were all jealous of him. Ew. Tepe felt really good about himself. Ew. However, someone arrived to interrupt his perfect life. Oh no. Thank you, Chie-sensei. I'm a teacher from Hinamizawa Branch School. My name is Chie. Is Satoko Hojo-san here? He thought someone was at his door to sell insurance or something. But it was the school teacher. Huh? What the hell? What do you want with Satoko? I came here because she didn't come to school today and I wasn't able to get a hold of her, so I'm wondering what happened. Huh? School? I forgot she's supposed to go there. Yes. Is she home? I need to talk with her. She's sick. That's right, she has a cold. Satoko's resting because she has a fever. I need to give her some handouts. May I please see her? You idiot. Weren't you listening to what I just said? Satoko is sick. She's sleeping right now. I can't let you see her. This was going to cause him problems, Tepe realized. Satoko was just a pet for him, and he had no intention of sending her to school. Ew. But her teacher had shown up at his house just because she missed one day. This wasn't good. Tepe hated schools, and he really hates teachers. I see. Do you think she can come to school tomorrow? Who knows? I won't know until tomorrow. Idiot. I see. All right. Please tell her that I came by. Thank you. He was able to get rid of the teacher, but it would create more problems if he didn't send Satoko to school tomorrow. Tepe didn't need even more trouble on his plate. That meant he couldn't beat up Satoko like he wanted to. Oh no! Violence was the only way he knew how to communicate. Clearly! With that out of the picture, it was very difficult for him. He wanted to beat up Satoko, but he would leave evidence on her body. If that happened, he wouldn't be able to send her to school. And if she didn't go to school, that teacher would show up at his doorstep again. Shit. On top of all that, the child consultation center paid a visit to his house later that night. The teacher must have filed a report. That bitch, Tepe thought next time I'll beat her in the face so hard she needs plastic surgery. Since Satoko was afraid of him, she pretended she was really sick when the social worker visited. It was so easy for Tepe to control her. He considered Satoko to be a convenient pet, but at the same time he needed to be careful of the consultation center. Ah, fucking hell, this ain't gonna work at all. So, yeah, we do not like this man. We do not like this man at all. This is where I will call it, because now my throat is getting tired. All right, well, get back here. Get back here so I can get on the right screen. Thank you all for coming, even though that was kind of rough. I appreciate that people still like to hear me read that. Let's see who I can send you to today. Let's do. Who haven't I rated in a while? Wow, there seem to be a lot of artists going, so I think I'll send y'all to. Oh, Relay's probably gonna end soon. So, oh, Shuji just started. I can do that. So, raid message 1 if you're subbed, and raid message 2 if you're not. See you later. Oh, I thought they were doing art, but they're doing Hollow Knight, not Hollow Knight, Silk Song. The new one that is cool and such. I appreciate you so much. Bye.